Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to Call of Duty Challengers Elite. We are here and we are live in our North American region to bring you all of the action of these players all duke it out in their respective teams. But I'm not alone. Joining me here, my colleagues Tan and Ellen. Ellen, how are you?
I am doing fantastic, Bryce. Like I said, it's been raining for a week here in Austin, Texas, and today had a little bit of sunlight. So just enjoyed my break with the pup, and I'm just really excited to get into the matches tonight and just see what we're in for. Because yesterday, I know, was a pretty crazy day, Bryce.
It certainly was, and I'm quite glad we got to see tonight, actually. There's some teams I've got a few question marks over, but before that, the only question mark I want to know is, Tan, how are you?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. We've just had a nice little break together. We hung out, we talked about video games, and just, spent some time together. We enjoy each other's company, Brycey, however much you disagree.
We certainly do. Well, for everybody tuning in, North American region standings are here. Currently, LAG Academy and The System flawless so far, 2-0. Then UT Crew, built by gamers at Nemo and Sobriety Gaming, all 1-1 with different map counts. And at the bottom at the moment, Trash Bros and Easter. The biggest shock here, obviously, Ellen, has to be Easter sitting 0-2.
Yeah, that definitely comes as a shock. Is like we've said time and time again, Easter has just they took stage 3. They got third in the last open, and this is really surprising for them. Is just again, they didn't win a game yesterday, so I'm really going to be looking for them to turn it around. But on the other side, LAG Academy, that's just a squad that really turned it around this year. They didn't really have the best placings starting, and just losing Chino and adapting with Mox picking up on that squad. They've been doing a really good job and improving as they go along. So I'm just curious to see if now they can continue that streak.
Yeah, I think that's the key, right? Is if you're playing well, keep playing well. That's very, very simple when it comes down to it. Tan, what are your thoughts on the North American region so far?
I mean, I'm kind of in the same boat. I mean, the fact that Easter are sitting down there at 0-2 and who they lost to specifically as well, it was quite a surprise. So let's see if they can bounce back. I think they will. They've still got the caliber. We talk about how it's important to have a regular season, but at the same time, as long as you're in there in that final day, that's the important thing. And you can get through there by finishing top 6. So finish top 6 by any means necessary. Bring your A game when it comes to the playoffs. That's kind of what you need to do. But it's better to do as good as possible all the time. But at the same time, it's that caveat of you need to finish top 6.
Well, I'm sure many of our teams will be trying to finish top 6. But before we go on to what's happening at the end of the season, let's find out what's happening in the rest of the broadcast. Here are our standings. If you did join us for the European side, the 2 games we broadcast were Team War defeating Hot Tub Meta and August taking down Los Pepes in a 3-2 thriller that all went all the way to map 5. But coming up here in the North American region, Trash Bros versus Built by Gamers. Big game for Trash Bros. If they can do something here, it will at least redeem them in the eyes of many. And then we'll have Nemo and Easter, the team we were talking about just a few minutes ago, wondering what on earth has happened to their season. Well, I'm sure we'll be able to find out and maybe shed some light on it. I'm sure they're looking for a lot better day to day. But I suppose at this point, it is time to start talking about our very first game. Of course, Trash Bros haven't had a great start. They're 0-2 in this one, Ellen. Do you think there is a route back for them?
I think they have the edge. The potential is definitely there. I mean, you look at the team essentially that they beat to qualify, right? The NYSL Academy squad, which, they were the season 1 champs and pretty much a top contending team all year. So just being able to take down a team like that, you look at that and think, okay, there's some potential. So going into this, though, look at BBG now, who's consistently been here since season 1, and they've shown signs of improvement. But I just want to know, and I think about it, what is BBG is just that team has just been top 4, but they haven't won first yet. So what do they need to do to secure first placing?
That is a very good question.
You know
Consistent,
what I mean?
but not consistently the best. And that's something that I'm sure is frustrating here. But we can now view our maps for our very first showdown between these 2 teams. Of course, Built by Gamers will be taking on the Trash Bros. as they throw down in this one. A big game for Trash Bros, of course. They are going to be wanting to get that first point on the board, but I am hoping the map set will give us a little bit of an insight as to what might end up happening in this one. So this is how it's going to play out. Checkmate Hardpoint first, Miami Search and Destroy, Checkmate Control, then Moscow Hardpoint and Moscow Search and Destroy if we get that far. Ton, quick prediction from you.
I think you really have to consider how Trash Bros played yesterday, which was it was okay, but let's see what Built Bar Gamers have got because we haven't seen much of them on the stream yet.
We certainly haven't. Well, thank you very much, Ton. It'll be over to me and Ellen to cast this one, which I'm straight on board with Trash Bros. And Hollow, first up.
Hollow pre-firing through that wall, Bracy. We already know how crucial and important that wall bang is, but overall, it's a good start for Trash Bros as they're taking the lead here and overall have that plane control, but it's built by gamers who essentially have that P2 rotation. So Trash Bros is going to have to think of a way to start to push through this, but not before they suck up some good hill time here.
Yeah, it's one of these things I spoke about before, right? If you're going to struggle to get to P2 or can't be able to, you really are going to want to try and squeeze as much time out of P1 to negate it as possible. And Trash Bros doing a very good job at the moment, but they are now going to be swinging into action, trying to get that rotation come through. GoodRx is going to challenge some of this time, going to contest it, not going to happen. Scrap time should now go in their favor. The problem being, of course, difficult rotation. Hollow with the absolute gunny on a Panda, and that will open the door.
Yeah, difficult rotation indeed, but that will definitely open it up. As Built by Gamers, though, we still have GoddRx. If you take a look at number 6 in the back, still a very important kill that goes down. Mock trying to fight away with his life, but GoddRx with a huge 2-piece. But what looked like a Trash Bros could have solidified the spawn. Built by Gamers with a huge 2-piece from GoddRx. Secure it. Now, Yuli gonna try to answer back. He gets the kill onto Pentagram, and now 30 seconds remain as they're gonna go and flood on right on through the front through this push here.
Well, you can see right now, not an awful lot of time on P2 for them. They're going to have to give it up, and that's what I said, right? Sometimes you just know it's going to be very difficult. If you can't get to that money hill, P1 can help negate it, at least in the early game, that very first push off bad side. And you can see that happening here. But as we go into P3, the teams aren't too far away from each other. So a ton to play for. And you see Panda just getting a bit of a pre-fire down that back alley as both teams posturing here for position and control of this map. Not going to get the second.
Yeah, Pentagram still yet a kill to get from him as Built by Gamers need a little bit of help from him. But now Trash Bros remain control of underneath the plane here and the street side. But GoddRx looking to make a difference. He takes down Mox. Beautiful shots into him. He gets the second onto Hollow now, but he gets traded out by Ulias. Now Kismet picks up the trade, and now it's Built by Gamers having control over this plane hill, and they are in a good position to hold potentially the next rotation.
Well, still not an awful lot of points. Both these teams really throwing everything at it that they can. Uli, though, trying to get a few kills as they go for it at the same time, but both teams, again, this is one of the big things here. Obviously, you're going to want this rotation if you can get it. And Hollow are trying to make that happen by sitting at wood. Gintroid, though, just guns a player. Pentagram next up will get the trade back once again. And Pentagram getting a few more. But that spawn has come in. And that's exactly what Hollow was looking for. You can see them now spawning backward. And both teams will be fighting for it. Unfortunately, Built by Gamers still in control and know exactly what they needed to do.
Indeed they do, and Hollow is trying to make a difference there, but Trash Bros is still spawning out. GoddRx is doing a fantastic job locking down that plane, but now Gintroid answers back on the kill, but Pentagram knows that he's in there. Nice shot punch coming in from him. He's just looking to lock down that plane, and we know the plane is just very essential, and he gets a 2-piece there. Gonna get the third. Going around on the Gintroid, but no, Gintroid locks him down. Built by Gamers doing a very good job at holding this street hill. And again, still Pander trying to hold on to those last remaining scrap time, but really gunfights are going to be important here. That GoddRx going to have to hold down this street side, and still Trash Bros that remains to spawn out here, Bricey.
It certainly is. You've got to ask yourself what exactly Pentagram was doing in the first part of that game. 3-11, and first time we get eyes on him, it looks like he's playing lights out. So Hopefully he's found his form for them, but Built Bar Gamers firmly in control. Jintroid, though, trying to gun. Panda says, thank you very much. I've got a Krig at this range. But pressure now coming forward. Mock trying to get in a position to allow his team to at least challenge here. Trying to fire through wood. And still got to wait. His team aren't in position. They may have to just try and drop straight through and go for this aggressively. You can now see them going in. Jintroid and Uli trying to get through. Hollow on Overwatch. Oh, he does get two. Unfortunately, not an awful lot comes out of it. The point's still going in favor of Built by Gamers.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like Trash Bros is finding a way to actually answer back, but 15 seconds remain on to this point. We're gonna have to start thinking about those plane rotations. Godorex is still fighting the remaining scrap time here, but again, ultimately now Trash Bros has control over that plane. And Hollow, he's on a 3 streak right now. It's definitely making a difference and a thorn in their side. Blood's gonna slowly start to come in, but Uli just holding these corners necessarily doesn't need to peek. Slide comes in from Pentagram as he easily stretches his down. Can he get the second? No. The pinch comes in from Built by Gamers, and again, this is just a complete utter bloodbath now as the Trash Bros is just looking to fight and stay alive into this.
They really are doing a good job though. Jintroid going to get that into it, trying to lock down a bit of playing time as well. Looking for that last player, but it is going to be Kismet. If he finds one, finds a second, eventually traded back out here, and Trash Bros have the opportunity to get not only 22 seconds, but more importantly, this rotation to P2. Currently, as they fight it out, they do have the spawns. A lot of commitment here coming into play. You're probably going to see Hollow take off a more defensive position, and he's doing exactly that, making sure nobody pushes down Blue Street. And this is so important for them now. They have to... Oh my goodness, Cupid just got so unlucky. But Hollow playing his position well. That's 3 for him he's picked up here to break the back of any push they could have made. And it will mean that Trash Bros now have this hill and the opportunity to go in the lead.
Yep. In the lead, they do it. And then they need to hold every single second, essentially. But Hollow is having the time of his life right now, locking down these lanes with that Krieg in hand. And Mock, the other AR duos, holding down this line of sight. Built by Gamers have to think of a way to break this, but good hold so far. It's Pander now. Look at what worked for the front. 3 kill, but gets shut down by Uli, and now 20 seconds remain. The kills do come in, but overall, Trash Bros still have control over this point, and they're still getting that back spawn, but take a look at your mini-map, and Built by Gamers is set up in that plane, and they're just locking down this position and just know exactly where Trash Bros is going to be flooding from. Godorex dancing around that plane, gets the kill onto Uli, and that's 3 down for Trash Bros. Is again, ultimately, Built by Gamers still a lead down, but they remain control over this point.
Well, very good job there from Trash Bros to get the time into that one, and I can say that was all Hollow. So difficult to actually end up breaking P2 whenever you go anywhere except for around the back of Blue. But right now, Built by Gamers have the opportunity. They have gone back into the lead. Unfortunately, let's speak, the kill feed lights up white. And now it will be the Trash Bros in control. 30 seconds left onto this one. Plane control is paramount here. You're going to have to make sure they hold it. And then, if they can, try and flip the spawns. It didn't work for them last time, but you can already see Uli trying to do that exact work. It's going to be Panda who fights him in backwood. And Panda is still there, so they still should have the spawns. But I did see Kismet spawn out, and I think, finally, Trash Bros have it.
Yep, that was a huge kill from Pander, but then ultimately it was Jintroid there as well who got the trade, and they cleaned up that. Now remain control over this. Trash Bros stealing the lead away from Built by Gamers, but still have a chance to claw their way back in here. But Uli, he does go down, and now that's 2 down for Trash Bros as Built by Gamers does have control. Mock is going to look to try to answer back, but again, Pentagram, they're right up in his face with that AK-7U in hand, but Hollow gets a kill on a Kismet. A couple shots go in there on Godorex, but he's just locking it down right now for Trash Bros. Now the kills come in, but it's Trash Bros who's raining havoc onto Built by Gamers. But Built by Gamers, if you take a look at Pander, Pander did spawn out on the opposite side. So now this could force some trouble for Trash Bros as they can... Built by Gamers can look to secure this next rotation over to the construction hill. But that's a huge kill from Hollow now, as any chance they had alive to flip the spawn. Trash Bros again still remain to hold this point, and they can potentially be closer and take the lead right here to win it.
They certainly can, and good recognition of the player who had spawned out. Hollow managed to get back and get him. And now Built By Gamers have the push. They're going to try and get through the back here. Pentagram managed to get one. It will be get by Drintroid in the end. No! GunnerX comes through and now has a little bit of hope. Has to get through frontwood. He's going to see Mark there at the same time. His teammates trying to back him up desperately. Kismet goes into the front as well here. They know they have to break this to stay into this hard point. Pentagram free-firing everything. Eventually does back alley. But Drintroid is more than equal to it. And that may be the death toll you now see as Built By Gamers basically have to win every single gunfight. GunnerX does a great job of it. Kismet going straight back in again. Drintroid under pressure. His teammate coming through at the same time. He ends up almost shooting his teammate, but Panda gets two. Somehow, Built By Gamers have managed to get back into this. Just Panda gets three. What on earth was that shot into front wood? They've held a line by their fingertips, but still so much to do, and they now have to get into plane.
Yeah, they have to get in the plane, and Trash Bros is already set up there, but Kismet, let's see what he can do. Is he's gonna try desperately to fight them off of this point, and the shots come into Drintroid. He gets the kill, but he still has two more to worry about, but he has his help there for GunnerX. Hollow with a huge two-piece. The hill is still contested. Kismet gets the kill on the Hollow, still alive somehow. I have no idea, but the shots come in through the wall being Monk able to take him down, and again, the contests still come in. There's only 3 seconds to remain here, Bracy, and it's Built By Gamers who have control now.
Somehow Built By Gamers have managed to fight this tooth and nail. They've now floated back into plane. The problem being is they still cannot win it off this hill, but have to commit the resources to hold it. Pentagram all under pressure, backs off right into office. You can see Yuli coming for the kill here. It's a massive shot punch from him, and that could be all she wrote, because that is going to be the game to Trash Bros. Built By Gamers try to hold on, but it's just too far, and they couldn't make it in the end. What a ridiculous end to that hard point.
Oh, man. Bricey, I feel like we're in for a real treat. Just for a game like that, just, oh my goodness. I feel like maybe if Pentagram stepped it up just a little bit, maybe that lead wouldn't have been stolen so far away from BBG, but wow, what a performance from Trash Bros. You can't count the fact that Hollow was just absolutely beaming with the AR, I feel like, consistently the whole entire time.
Yeah, it certainly was. And I'm sure production is listening, but I'd love to see that kill cam again, actually, in the replay package if we can. Panda with that three-piece somehow to help them break Wood Hill. It could have gone very, very differently. Like I said before, right? Built By Gamers did a ridiculous job to even hold on to that point. So many crucial gunfights going down, but in the end, it will be Trash Bros just too far ahead. It was ridiculous. Like, there were so many points where they could have realistically lost that game, and I honestly don't know, but it was not neck and neck the entire way through. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it really came down to I just that P2 hill second time around really kind of just the lead stole away from them, but oh man, good stuff. And Pander, yes, Pander and GunnerX, I just feel like they were taking turns and popping off, and even everybody, I mean, like you said, Pentagram at one point was down, and then we just saw in the kill cam there he had a huge three-piece. So just too much of a lead was stolen from them in the beginning, but such a huge comeback, and I feel like that momentum, if that carries into the search and destroy, we're definitely gonna be in for a real treat here.
Yeah, and there's that final little shot by Panda, just doing ridiculous work. He almost got killed by his teammate as well. We didn't even talk about that. There's the final kill by Uli as well, and that was all he needed, that shot punch as he rushed down office knowing they just had to dig them out. But Trash Bros were probably scrambling a little bit. It's like, oh my goodness, there's no way we choke this from this point, surely. But
yeah,
in the end, sigh of relief, they managed to bring it back. But I will say, Built By Gamers did everything right in the end there. But it's the problem, right? When you're that far down, there's just not an awful lot you can do. You have to make the crazy plays. The biggest problem would have been, even if they had held plane there and managed to do it, they couldn't, like I said, they couldn't commit any resources to going for the spawn. So they would have had a hard break on P2. Yeah. If they got lucky somehow and wiped them and managed to get through something, like, it's only like 4 seconds to play with. Like, how do you play with 4 seconds to rotate, get the kill, make sure you get the spawn? It just doesn't work.
Yeah, it wouldn't have been enough time, and essentially Trash Bros was just already stacked in the back, like, just with such a deficit. It's so hard to break, just like you said. It's way too hard, and especially if they were still pushing up and putting pressure into the plane, it's going to be really hard to just give up players on the old point, just having that constant pressure from Trash Bros. And overall, that just the lead got stolen from them, but doesn't mean they're not out yet. So we've seen a lot of comebacks, especially into these challengers leads. You just never know what could happen. So with a performance like that, even with the huge comeback, I just really do expect them to see some sort of heat coming into this Search and Destroy in Miami.
Yeah, I'm expecting pretty much the same thing here, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing how that one goes, because for the majority of that hardpoint as well, it was neck and neck between these two teams. The lead went back and forth a few times as well. So Miami hardpoint, it's going to be a very big match for the pair of them. Trash Bros, if you get that early 2-0 lead, are going to be feeling super confident about getting their first win here in Challengers Elite. At the same time, redemption for Built by Gamers. They probably feel like they should, at least with the way they were performing at the end, have sewn that up an awful lot earlier. But I don't know. Ellen, what do you think about how this is going to go?
I'm not sure. And, you know, I look at BBG, and this was kind of one of my favorites too, because, you know, they've been a team that has stuck together, because, you know, we do see a lot of roster changes in Challengers Elite, and they've just been one of those teams that have been sticking together, working it through. And you look at who they lost to this season. Okay, so far it's been Nemo. They beat Nemo 3-0 and then lost the UT crew. If they lose this game, I'm a little bit worried for this team, as, you know, LAG Academy has kind of stepped it up, and then now you have the system to worry about, which is obviously said Decimate Fellow, who just came down from the CDL. I look at this team and I'm like, man, what do you guys have to do to secure a win against even some of these teams that are undefeated? If they want to see a win in stage 4, finally pulling off a chip, I think about it and I'm like, what does this team have to do? But I really would like to. I know Trash Bros. Essentially, that's just a team that, you know, this is a newer team that we've seen in the league, and it's been a minute since we've even seen Hollow and Jintroid. So I don't know, with the experience from both teams, it's really hard to say. But I really would like to see BBG for once just come out on top of the chip.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. I think it kind of plays great. We were talking about it before, right? Like I said, you know, they're a consistently good team. They're not consistently great, and they're not consistently the best, which is a problem, because there is a ton of talent on this team. Obviously, you know, everybody, these names are very recognizable to anybody who's been watching COD for at least a little while. And you are right. I'm sure that they're very much thinking themselves, can we go that extra mile, and can we manage to win this? Because there are bigger things at stake here. Of course, we are coming towards the pinnacle of Call of Duty, slowly ramping up in how important this actually is. And of course, I've mentioned it a million times, but I'll mention it again. You know, most of these players want to be on a franchise. They've played at the very pinnacle of Call of Duty as well. So every single game does really matter, because you never know who's actually watching. But speaking of every game mattering, let's jump in now to our Search and Destroy on Miami. Let's see how it is going to go down between these two teams. Of course, at the moment, Trash Bros do lead 1-0 in the series, but we are going to jump on board with Built by Gamers for the attack.
Yeah, and I'm expecting to see a lot of these AR battles, especially between GodRx and Hollow, Pander, but looking like a potentially be a hit here. They have Mock to worry about, who's on that beach side, and he does spot Kismet. His shots do go down. Throws the nade out to secure maybe his life, but looks like Kismet's going to be on the bomb, and now the bomb does go down. Full team to worry about here.
Yeah, good plant from them at the moment. Got to absorb the pressure. Keep an eye. Pentagram wide in the back. He's going to end up putting in a P2, and he gets that kill onto Mock as well. And this is now a really hard retake. 28 seconds left. Trash Bros have to come across the map and defuse. First of all, they're going to try and take Panda out of boat. And Jintroid does get it. It's now down to a 2 versus 2, but time is against them. They have to go fast. Jintroid is going to be around here, looking into a P2. Sees Pentagram, takes a few shots onto him, and Pentagram will win that gunfight. And that may just be the end of it, because Yuli now has no cover. And now he's won that as well. Pentagram's just going to run and check it. I hope in time. Is he going to be in time? Okay, that was a little bit closer than I was expecting. But I'll tell you something. I think Trash Bros did a pretty good job of actually managing that retake. But like I said before, it's the time. Time will get you more often than not.
Yeah, indeed it was. That was looking pretty scary. Oh, very close to a ninja. But Pentagram now on a 3 streak. Quite the turnaround from last game. But on the attacking side, it's going to be Trash Bros. And what we might look to see, sort of a B push here. Let's see if they aggressively play it, but Built by Gamers, they have a 2-2 split. You see number 2 and 3 on your mini map, and Built by Gamers might be set up for a retake here, but Trash Bros looking to push onto this B site, and shots do come down. Jintroid is tagged up, but the trophies are in, protecting him from that bomb site. Pander might get a couple shots in, but now Kismet able to clean up the kill on the Jintroid, and now opening it up, making it much harder for Trash Bros to overtake this.
Trying to get the feet there underneath the van. Can work sometimes, doesn't work this time. And look at the movement coming in really. Ulysses just doing so much work to stay alive and refuse to go down. And like I said before, they even tried the feet shooting. Doesn't always work, but can sometimes pick up somebody who's weak. There we go. Look, Kinemic goes down. Tries to get GodRx, dips behind this, refuses to die. Teammate picks up the kill and then jumps out and says, hey, last kill all on me.
Yeah, and the trust there from his teammate. I mean, you know, he just instantly ducked out of the way. All right, I got you. Boom, ducked back. That was just beautiful movement from Uli. So what looked like it could have been a round for Built by Gamers. They definitely were able to capitalize that. So now answering back, but Uli now on a 2 streak too. Definitely see if he can continue on those streaks, but
let's see. Let's see how Built by Gamers react to this. And you can already see Kismet is heading off to beach with the bomb. They've also got Pentagram playing in a really dirty position, watching the garage push. Now, I do wonder, considering the layout of these two teams, if this is going to be super slow from Built by Gamers, looking for a pick before they make a move. Unfortunately, Hollow finds it, and that leaves them in a horrible position. They have to try and figure this one out. Pentagram slowly moving into garage as well. Panda playing peekaboo out by Tiki. Still hasn't managed to get him up. Pentagram fighting up top. Actually, we saw a miss there. And Ulysses will get another kill. 3 streak for him. And I think Built by Gamers could probably just go to sleep at the moment. There's not an awful lot they can do in a 2 versus 4 with no bomb.
Yep, and they have time on their not on their side as the 30 seconds remain, but GodRx and Pander, the AR duo, gonna look to see if they can get an opening pick mid-map here as Jintroid's kind of sliding around, and I'm not sure if this is gonna be close. 15 seconds left now. The bomb was picked up, but Jintroid is taken down, and now Pander gets a huge shoot. He's gonna get a third Hollow. No, he does not. Hollow does manage to take him out, but that would have been huge right there, Bracey. You just almost ate those words.
I mean, I count them out. Like, I was checked out of this round. I was like, this is done. There's just not enough time. There's no way.
Yeah.
And then, like, Panda just completely gunned. If somehow his teammate had got Hollow as well, it would have been one of the most ridiculous 2v4 clutches I've ever seen, but didn't pay out in the end, so we pay it no mind and we move on. Of course, this time, Trash Bros will be attacking. And just based off that initial break, it's looking like maybe a heavy B hit. You can already see one player waiting to see if there's a mid-push coming through purple. The rest are going to hit garage. And this is sometimes difficult, depending on the distribution. You can see here, Built by Gamers got a few players in the area. Pan's going to be underneath the stairs. Kismet on top. Now, they've seen the players. Can they delay this long enough? Jintroid's already got one, though. They have the opportunity to hammer this and try to get through as well. Kismet trying to play his life. He's managed to get Ulysses, get Jintroid as well. Played his position perfectly and has cut down what was a very good start.
Yep, and now that leaves Mock alone in the garage right over there with the bomb site down, but GodRx able to take down Hollow. Now leaves Mock in a 1 versus 3. That bomb site secured by Built by Gamers as they're just locking it down, and 35 seconds remain. This is going to be very hard for Mock to take, but still very doable. If he can get this opening pick onto Pentagram potentially here in the alley, maybe he might have a chance, but no, he does not. Cut down and just secured. Yeah, it's just Pentagram tucked away in that corner. It's like they all knew. Huge two piece though from Kismet securing the round.
Yeah, they could be playing his life there as he saw the pressure come in. Just paid dividends. He managed to get a 2-piece as well. He really didn't go for the stairs because he was getting pressure, so he stayed by Van. But 2-2, this could very easily go all the way to round 11. Both teams playing out of their minds so far, but Built by Gamers hoping to go in the lead here on this attack. And of course, it does look like Kismet is just trying to keep an eye for when he's going mid-map. I'm not entirely sure what the rest of the team are doing. They've got a bit of pressure towards Beach. Pentagram sitting bottom purple by Piano. And not a lot else happening. A few challenges going on top here, Adam, but other than that, it seems to be slow and steady. Pentagram, though, eventually ends up flying in. There's so many players up here. Look at everybody dance back and forth. Trash Bros, though, come out on top.
Yeah, that was a huge opening pick there for Trash Bros. This the dance of death, it seems like, around this top purple area, but Built by Gamers just waiting patiently. Kismet down there with the bomb site, and knows exactly where these players are, but having a kill on the board, time on their side, they don't need to plant. They're just going to back down. You see Trash Bros kind of shifting around the map and transitioning, coming towards the mid, and GodRx is going to find, Pander's going to find one onto Jintroid, and then Kismet. Trades come in, but now the rotation to that bomb site's going to go towards B, and now Kismet's going to work towards this plant site, and Yuli gets the help from his teammate there as Mock takes out Pander, and now Kismet left alone in 1 versus 2 here, Bryce.
Ulysses up top, and eventually is just going to go straight back down. Trash Bros come out on the top on their defense. The Fuse as well, and I will say Ulysses is doing a great job. Anytime he's top purple, he's been holding it down for the team.
Yeah.
But I don't know, honestly, like these two teams are both so kind of evenly matched. It wouldn't surprise me for it to go either way. Like, even now, right? You're talking about the rounds coming down to just 1v1s, 1v2s. Tiny amounts. And we could have it all on one side, or it could go all the other way, and neither would surprise me.
I agree. Just so neck to neck, even when we saw in the hard point, even just being down by such a huge deficit, just Trash Bros has just really been proving themselves here today in the Challengers Elite, and Yuli now currently 6-2 on a 2 streak. See if he can continue that. It's on the attacking side. Looks like, again, both teams just kind of playing patiently, playing for picks, playing for a little bit of information. As GodRx spots Hollow over there and got him purple, but Hollow manages to get away with his life. And again, it's just a test of patience between both squads.
It is. And it does seem that potentially a rotate here to B. Mark is keeping an eye out from the balcony. Oh, and down he goes. Panda just ripping him out there. So they've lost numerical advantage, but they are going to try and collapse here into it. Pentagram waiting patiently, hoping to make this first pick. Hollow walks out in front of him. Second player, Jintroid will get that one back. And now in a 2 versus 3, you can see the rest of Built by Gamers now starting to reinforce. They're all trying to get into a good position for this one as Jintroid goes for the plant. He's got to rely on Yuli to keep him alive.
It's going to be very hard to do so when you got GodRx hopping over that wall, and now Yuli able to get the kill on Pander, manages to duck away with his life, but he's got to worry about the bomb, which looks like the defuse is coming in, and Kismet has the help there with, and Built by Gamers able to secure that round. Trades coming in, and man, once again, like you said, there's nothing really too crazy other than the fact that both teams are just evenly matched and just really doing a good job at just from both sides. You're just seeing the trades come in, and you're seeing the teamwork again from both squads. It's just even on the stat line, just look very evenly matched here, Bracey.
Yeah, that's the crazy thing. Like, obviously, Ulysses is doing a great job, and so is Kismet, but it just seems to be a battle between those two a lot of the time. Who can ever come out on top ends up winning the round. But look at this big push coming from Built by Gamers. They're going for this aggressively. 4 players going into Garage. Yuli up top. You can see again, he's now trying to get out alive. And they come to the pressure. And it will be Kismet comes out on top this time. And he jumps straight back out and goes to the plant, flying through the air. And it will now be Trash Bros to try and retake. Already, they are pushing right into it. Jintroid is going to hit the flank here. So he's got RX1, and that is going to open up a lot of opportunities for this team to collapse in. And that is exactly what is happening. Trash Bros now finding gaps in the defense of Built by Gamers, and the pressure is mounting.
Oh, man. And indeed, now it's all on Pentagram. They just like that fell. Trash Bros now. 20 seconds remain onto the site, but Pentagram in a very tough position to do so as Hollow's already hopped onto that bomb, and he has his teammate there for the trade. Now, it looked like a very aggressive round from Built by Gamers. I mean, I thought they were just going to get stolen away with that one. That opening pick from Kismet was key, but this opening hole right here from Jintroid able to take down GodRx, and not really anticipating that full flank around. able to really open it up for them. Yep, that was definitely.
It wasn't even close, right? Like, when they get the bomb down and they push out towards Garage, the only problem you ever have with that setup is anybody who tries to actually get the pinch in. And the fact that, like, you saw GodRx watching it, he knew exactly where they should be coming from. Unfortunately, a long flank opened it up, and then if you watch the minimap, you saw all the players start looking different directions because they know they don't have a secure way to face one way. But look at the pressure coming in. Pentagram has already pushed out with his teammate here at the same time. Built by Gamers, gone super aggressive on the defense, and it pays out for them. Trash Bros have been caught flat-footed. It's now a 1 versus 3, 1 versus 2. Usually trying to make a 1 versus 4 happen. Can he actually manage to do the impossible?
Yep. Built by Gamers have an inkling of just a little bit of information where he used to be, but ultimately, they're going to work together. Pentagram and Pander as they try to find Uli. Uli catches Pander with his pants down, shoots him in the back, and now leaves Pentagram in a 1 versus 1. He still has the bomb site to worry about, and he spots him. Now Pentagram tags him up, but yeah, there goes Uli.
Fight is confidence.
Yeah, I agree. Uli's just going to back on down and work towards that B site, but he is having the game of his life right now.
Certainly is. Bomb gonna go down for him. This is for the 1 versus 4, of course. Now getting up top, Purple doesn't really know where Pentagram has gone. He can guess, but he does not know. Now Pentagram checking the bomb site. He obviously won't know where Uli has gone either. Checking every single angle for it. Both of them eventually finding it. I think Pentagram knows. He's figured this one out. Is Uli gonna go all the way back round? I think he is. This is just like chasing each other round and round they go. Uli will have to check the bomb at some point, but it looks like he may have done this. This is going to come down to a fight, and I think he's actually made the 1v4 clutch. It's going to be Pentagram who has to now run to the bomb and just defuse. He's going to jump straight onto it, and Uli's going to see it. And that, my friends, is a 1 versus 4 in the search to destroy. What a ridiculous feat to put you up 5-3.
Oh, man. Uli just having the game of his life right now. I just... Oh, that is tough. That is tough if you're built by Gamers, but... Gosh, you can't take that away from Uli. You can't. He's on a 4 streak. Like you said, 1 versus 4. The man is on a mission right now, and they're making a statement. They really are. But built by Gamers and potentially being down 0-2, I'm expecting to see some kind of they have to shut him down. They have to shut him down. Uh-oh.
Well, here we go. They're trying this last time. It's going to be a big fight once again here. A lot of pressure coming through. And there they go, straight back onto the site here. Kismet in, Uli up top, and Jinchway actually takes him down before. Now Uli goes for it. And that may be the end of it here because they don't have top Purple control. They have a player in Garage. Players can now come over. They're actually being really slow to react to this. I suppose they could just let him do whatever he wants. They're actually going to back off. They don't fancy taking him on at this stage of the game, and I'm not surprised. You just killed all of your team.
Yep. And the rotation's coming through, but Hollow spots it. Able to take down GodRx now. Pander sneaking away with his life, but you have Uli there at top Purple, and just too strong, dominant performance out of him. Just take it 6-3. And I mean, that was, I think when we were talking about it, Bracy, we were saying how close it was. They were neck to neck, and I just feel like when they were tied 3-3, it just, Trash Bros just stole it. They just completely flew away with that. And again, it was Uli.
Yeah. Kind of crazy as well, right? Like, obviously, we were
turned
to
up.
go back and forth, and they should have won that one. It may have felt very different as well, but if anything, maybe Built by Gamers were just broken by that because a 1v4, it happens so rarely.
Yeah.
And I think even his first shot, right? The first shot from Uli, we're going to see probably on this kill cam, just bangs GodRx from a mile away, turns on Kismet, and then finds the third. At that point, you can't really blame the person in a 1v1 with bomb down.
Yeah. I agree. It's just tough. It's tough situation if you're Built by Gamers, and the momentum. I mean, that's just going to get stolen away from you, especially if you have a player just playing like that, and you can't have the ability to shut him down. And that lead does get stolen away from you. Not only that, but it happened in the hard point. So I don't know. Going into this next game, I mean, it's just tough when you have a player playing like that, and just the momentum so high. They're really just going to have to wipe these two maps off and go into this and just pretend like it didn't happen. As I always say, it's just mentality is everything here. And It's tough. That's really tough for Built by Gamers because I just believe that I feel like Pander, especially, he's just been playing out of his mind this series. I mean, you look at map 1, that opening break that they had on the construction hill, him and GodRx both, and just securing that to potentially take a win there. Although they fell short and it was very hard. I just feel like Pander, especially, has just been playing really well.
Yeah, like I said before, right? We came in this game. We're talking about both teams having these great games, and we weren't entirely sure because it's been neck and neck. And I'm sure the S&D scoreline doesn't kind of represent how that game actually went. For a lot of the time, it was back and forth, and then suddenly TrashBros went, okay, this is the end of us now. We're just gonna end up winning it. And even then, right, like a 1v4 shouldn't really happen. I think Kismet, and here's the thing, right? I'm gonna go into, and I don't want to blame Kismet but the traditional saying is the second person to die is at fault for a clutch usually. But how was he to know that, as he basically, the player turned around and completely obliterated him out of the sky? Like, the shots from Yuli were ridiculous. He took GodRx at long range all the way from bottom purple to the bomb site, turned around, blew Kismet out of the eye, and then, unluckily, their third got caught as they were going for a full rotate. They were actually together. The other person had only just gone over into curve themselves. So, it all worked out for Uli, and it just wasn't ever going to work out for Built by Gamers. And I'm sure they're going to watch that back and just be cringing like super hard of how they let that slip away.
Yeah, no, I agree. And just like you said, I mean, you look at that map and you just think Uli, like he was just absolutely popping off. There's not much more to say it. Just go back and do your due diligence and figure out what holes were open and what you can do to change and tighten up the Miami Search and Destroy game. But checkmate. I mean, going into this control, I don't know, Bracy. Like, what are you thinking now? I mean, you asked me last time. Now, what are you thinking onto this one? Because this BBG squad, like I said, I time and time again, we've seen them clutch up and come out on top, but then we've also seen them falter as well. And I just wish I want this team to just find some sort of ground where they can just completely stay consistent and be up on the top there, be undefeated 2-0 at the start of the season. But I don't know. You think they have the potential to turn it around?
I think they very much do have the potential, and that's probably the most best thing you can say about Built by Gamers right now is that I was favoring them coming into this match. It generally was. I thought Built by Gamers should realistically have this, and I thought the scoreline would probably be the other way round right now. I thought they'd probably be 2-0 and everything, but I don't know. I think realistically, TrashBros have shown just how good they are. And that's a great thing, right? Like, TrashBros are coming into this one and saying, hey, we were 0-2, but check us out, check how good we are, and keep an eye on us, because they have been playing fantastically well here. And I'm sure some people may even change their vetoes here to get rid of Miami, because you really don't want to fight Yuli up top purple anymore.
I agree. You definitely don't. And just taking a look at Uli too, just last season being on Aerial Arise and not finding any success with that squad. These players all have, been a part of the Challengers Elite this year, but not as a unit. So now just seeing these players come together, it's clearly working out for them, and they are doing everything right and correctly. So hopefully, with the record being able to turn it around, this is definitely going to be a huge win for under their belt, as they haven't had a win just yet, but it's looking pretty promising right now. It is.
Yeah, it certainly is, and that's exactly what they need for today, right? A swift 3-0 would certainly kind of relieve all the pressure from yesterday that went on, but at the same time, Built by Gamers, right? They don't want to lose this. They don't want to lose to the 0-2 team in this league. They know that there is a lot of competition going on for it, and we've heard a lot about it, right? At this point, Built by Gamers want to win an Elite Challenger Series, and they haven't done it so far, even if they have been super good against pretty much every single team. We'll find out, though, of course. The control is now going to be starting on to checkmate. And last time around, TrashBros managed to pull out the hard point on this, but can they finish it in the control? We are going to find out, but we're jumping on board with Built by Gamers first, and it's GodRx.
Yep, on the attacking side, Built by Gamers, and looks like they're going to have an aggressive A hit here, but Pentagram dancing around this plane gets taken out by Uli now as TrashBros is going to aggressively push up in their base and look to secure and trap them in the street side, and Mock already having the first opening blood as GodRx just fighting alive and gets a huge 2-piece and getting the third on Uli, but no, that's a full wipe for Built by Gamers as Trash Bros is going to aggressively push up and now work to secure the spawn trap.
Yeah, and that's the horrible position to be in here. Trying to get out of it is always a nightmare. That time is bleeding away, but you cannot go fast. You've got to go careful. And look at those two players. They have no idea each other is there. And eventually, Uli will go out for the shot, finds a second, finds Panda. It doesn't matter. Teammate picks it up as well. And now he's going to go through here and try to see if he can get some players off spawn. This is so annoying to deal with. Yeah, long shot from Kismet. Close shots on GodRx. And Uli continuing his reign of terror. Now a 5-0 start. Oh my God. I really hope that player was one shot.
If he wasn't, my goodness. Uli finally gets taken down, but Kismet pushing out here, working this straight side as time is ticking away. But Built by Gamers, only 14 lives for them, but Kismet desperately trying to fight for a tick here as he does just that. Can he get the second? Looks like it's going to, but Jintroid's going to work that street side to push on forward as now that's 3 down for Built by Gamers. And again, Uli's just shooting rockets out of his gun. Very good start from him, but looking like Trash Bros is going to secure this round as the time is going to run out. And Pricey, what a start from them. Trash Bros is, like I said, they're just looking to make a statement. And man, Uli, I just don't think he stopped shooting rockets.
We're going to see it again here. This is the final kill count. Like long range AKU, close range GodRx, and this guy has to be one shot. Like there's no way. I think it's hollow when he makes him one shot because eventually he just comes out. Please tell me he's one shot. I think he was as well, but ridiculous for it. By the way, slaying wise, it's what 22 and 9 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
something like
22
that.
and 9. Uli has almost as many kills as Built by Gamers.
You know, they're gonna have to step it up. Let's just say that. Uli aggressively pushing on to this A site is already, you know what? He's gonna chalk that point. And already shooting rockets. He must have had a call out there from his teammates as he easily cuts down Built by Gamers on that point, but Bryce, it's just the man. Every time you see him, he's just, again, just shooting rockets. I don't know. He's got to stop him. Somebody's got to stop this guy.
Well, GodRx has managed to do it there so far, but bearing in mind, of course, that defending on this map can be easy. Attacking is always hard. Right now, GodRx doing a great job to rebuff all of the pressure. 3 streaks from him. They're going to try and put Trash Bros into the same spawn trap they were in themselves. But Hollow managed to get 2. Opens up A Street just enough. The team can get out here. Pentagram actually trying to do a little bit of work and going to blue. Common position for a lot of players. That's why it got checked. And you can see, actually Built by Gamers having a much better game this time around. They tried to make sure this pressure goes down, but Uli winning another 50-50 gunfight against Kismet. Eventually gets taken down by GodRx, who seems to be his foil on this attacking side.
Now Pentagram just working to work a flank here on that street side, but now his teammates do fall, but he's going to look to take a couple down as he takes down Uli and gets traded out by Jintroid. But just like you pointed out, Brycey, this is looking to be a little bit better round for Built by Gamers as they're doing not too bad of a job defending as Trash Bros hasn't had a tick just yet. Second tick on A, but now 16 seconds remain and Jintroid just fighting and dancing around this plane. Gonna work towards that B site, catching Pentagram off in his back, but overall they're gonna have to go, and they're gonna have to go now. They have to play perfectly here and get this capture on to B, as now they're remaining on both sites, and Built by Gamers is gonna have to figure out a way which one and which site they were gonna fight.
Looks like they're probably gonna go towards B. It's the one you don't ever want to give up if you can help it. But the game will not end early. Trash Bros have managed to get their first point. A is now down, and they're up by 2 lives as well. Depending on how much that means, you can see everybody's just going to slow right down now, because realistically, Trash Bros know while they've got a minute to convert, they do have the life advantage. Jintroid gets 1. He is pinned down by GodRx, having to try and get out of it as well. Pentagram Vexen takes down Mock, and Hollow's in a lot of trouble. This is going to come down to a war of attrition between these two.
Yep, now ultimately Trash Bros On to that B site is Built by Gamers only have 4 lives remain, and Trash Bros do have the live advantage, but now Pentagram trying to work his way towards this site. Couple shots into Gintroid. He doesn't manage to get him out, but that's looking like they're all just crumbling. The kills come in. Now Pander left alive in a 1 versus 5.
Oh, they know where he is. Just guns and shoulders and problems. And are going to go down. And I will say this, we spoke an awful lot about Uli in the first half, but I will say I think Hollow was the key there to eventually break the back of them. You can see GodderX doing fantastic work around A. And Built by Gamers are going to be sick. They didn't manage to hold this defense with 7.9 seconds left to go. Eventually just lost it on lives. Because now they've got to try and attack again. Yeah.
Yeah, they were up 2 for looked like for the first good half of that, so Uli slowed down a little bit. They're gonna have to capitalize on that, but
he was just being super aggressive and was getting caught.
Yeah.
We'll see. This time around, it's a B push. Sometimes this works, sometimes it doesn't. It can be difficult to hold to begin with, especially with no playing control. But Pentagram going straight off the bat, looking for another one, trying to get it through. Eventually, they are going to go down. It's only with GodderX and Gintroid in this area. GodderX bouncing around, finds Gintroid as well, getting onto this. Probably get the first cap off of it as well, which may pay out later, of course. But they have got to work super hard here, and they cannot allow themselves to be put back in that spawn trap again.
Yep, absolutely correct, because, well, that happens, and they will lose the whole series. So now Gintroid clearing them off that point, but they did manage to get a tick, just like you said. So 55 seconds remain, and it's looking like it could have gotten a little bit scary there, but Pander got a huge kill onto Hollow, and now Uli working again to get them trapped into that spawn. Pander has no idea he's here. Does manage to take out Pander, but gets traded out by GodderX, and now GodderX again, once again onto this point. Gonna look to secure the second tick. Built by Gamers. Trades come in yet again. Not able to secure it, but Kismet dancing around to the plane. He's gonna try to find these kills, and he does onto Uli and Hollow. He gets back right onto that point, throws the trophy down, and now Built by Gamers fighting still to stay alive here, Bracey.
Yeah, getting B, though, will be massive for them if they can do it. Kismet trying to stay alive. Eventually takes down Gintroid, and it should be the cap for them. Now, B down usually means it's easy time over at A, but they've got to be careful not to be pushed back into their spawn, because at that point, it still doesn't work. Hollow, though, going through. Going to find his player backsteps. No. Finds Pentagram long. Going to find Kismet up top, but Kismet is better. Ooh. And now this is where it gets dangerous. Trash Bros are in a bad position to try and defend here. A is never the one you want to try and hold long time.
Yep. Built by Gamers capturing B first, and then it looks like 2 Kismets have streaks in hand, so this is looking like it could be closer to their round, as they have live advantage as well. But Pentagram on this point, that's 2 down for Trash Bros. As Mock pushes in towards the middle, and he gets taken down by Pentagram. Now Built by Gamers fighting to stay alive onto this point. They're stacking on it. Trash Bros has to fly in if they want to capture, but no. Built by Gamers now answering back, taking a round. That was indeed a round they needed here, Bryce, because yet again, they lose this and they lose the series. This is a huge win for both teams. But man, good play by them on capturing B, and really, that's the level of teamwork that we need to see coming from BBG.
Yeah, just a great job for them as well. And that early B capture it's just so devastating to anybody playing defense, because you know A is such a harder hold. It's so much more difficult to wrest control of it. But we'll see whether or not this is going to work out for them. On the defense now, can they capitalize? Kismet going to go for this playing control. Panda already opening it up for Built by Gamers, and you can see now Kismet looking for Hollow. Hasn't quite worked out. 2 players going onto it. You can see Uli trying to stay alive, and eventually is going to go down. It does seem at this moment, though, they do have the numbers to try and make an A push.
Yep, Trash Bros this time around decides to work towards A. Now the streaks come in from Kismet, who manages to take out Hollow, and now he's going to try to curve that missile to see if he can maybe pick off Uli, who they know is around that point, but Kismet's going to work that flank. Uli's still dancing around this hill, but the help comes in from Mach, and Uli still manages to stay alive with 33 HP. Very good job at staying alive as he secures the ace site, and now this is going to make it a little bit harder for Built by Gamers. As Trash Bros did secure that time, and they have 2 minutes here, Bricey, to hold.
It's an awful long time for it as well. Yuli going to try and take down GodderX. Hasn't really worked out for them. But here comes the big push. They've got to be careful here, Trash Bros, not to lose a wave of kills. You can see how far Built by Gamers are pushed up. They'll be looking for that spawn trap if they can find it. So this is the next set of it. GodderX, though, is going for it. Yuli will get Pentagram as well, though. Plane going down. GodderX gets 2. Kismet gets 1. And it's all on Yuli as he goes to the plane, finds it. Stays alive. It opens a gap for his teammates to escape here. Flies all around. Eventually going to go down to Panda. Panda looking for Hollow as well. Hollow is better. And still, with 1 minute 26 left to go in this one, Trash Bros can do it. But they need to get a little bit of map control and get Built by Gamers away from this setup.
Yep. If you take a look at Mach, he got an important kill on that street side as he's working for that map control, but he gets taken out by Panda, and now GodderX is going to be pushing forward. Like you said, it's going to be very, very hard for Trash Bros if they get trapped in their spawn in that back base there. Kismet dancing around the street side. Oh no! He thought he had the kill on the Hollow, but Hollow somehow still manages to stay alive and get away with his life, and he re-challenges and get the kill. Hollow now on a 5 streak. That could be potentially the opening break that Trash Bros needed here, Bricey, to take B.
Well, this is disastrous. It's all gone white in the kill feed. You can now see Hollow going to go for this spawn trap. Up on the top grey, you can already see an artillery being dropped from Kismet. They know they're in trouble. They've got to try and do something here. As the rest of Trash Bros end up trying to spread out, and it hasn't worked for them. That artillery has broken all the advantages that Trash Bros had. Jintroid desperately trying to do a little bit of work, though, at the back here. He's keeping them pinned in. Look at this. It's 9-6, and it might be Built by Gamers who lose on lives again here, as they don't have any wiggle room.
Oh man, huge plays in from Jintroid too, and like you said, they don't have any wiggle room. That's Trash Bros. That's all stacked onto this point. They have to desperately move fast, and they have to go now, and they have to get every single kill if they want to save it. And now Pentagram again, he's the last alive in 1 versus 6. It's almost damn well near impossible. What a performance from Trash Bros as they take it 3-1. What a performance right here from Hollow. And I think we're actually going to see this. I think this is where Kismet thought he killed him, but he got away with his life and then absolutely just started dominating, going on a 5 spree.
Yeah, we were talking a lot about Yuli for this series and everything else, but obviously Hollow pretty much stepped up as well here, and Kismet's got to just be feeling so sick there as well. He was ready for it, pre-aimed in, and still ended up losing that gunfight as well. And Ton, Trash Bros come out screaming here in this game with a 3-0.
We always talk about why Built by Gamers don't do well, and it's because they lose games like that. That's kind of the game that they'd be going into against a team like Trash Bros and thinking to themselves, we should be able to potentially do something here. Especially on paper, this roster should be doing better than it has been all year, and they just can't do much in series against teams you would expect to have a close game against, but then they'll go and beat somebody you wouldn't expect it. It's just inconsistency consistently, but very well played Trash Bros there. They were the 1v4 from early as well. I mean, that you can't let it happen. You just absolutely cannot let it happen. But well played there. Really, really well played by Trash Bros.
Yeah, it certainly was. And here's the thing, right? Obviously, I hadn't seen them before because we didn't get to see their games yesterday, right? We didn't see what happened in the 0-2s. So we come and said, oh, you know, maybe they're having a rough time. Maybe they're not as good as we were hoping. Come in here and we've just seen them absolutely blow Built by Gamers out of the water, especially on that control. It's like they were in a different tier, Ellen.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and you take a look at Built by Gamers who have played Control, and we've seen them dominate on a pretty favorable fashion on that map. So to lose to a team, and essentially when you've been in the Challengers Elite here every season, and to lose to a team that essentially is a newer formally team that you don't expect to see that from a team like BBG. But I'm not taking anything away from Trash Bros because they played absolutely out of their mind. Hollow just right there in the end, and I know we've talked about Yuli shooting rockets, but like you said, Hollow just had a very, very amazing performance. And again, just not to take anything from them, it's just you look at a squad like BBG and you just really, really don't expect it. And just the last open, they took 2nd place. So we need to see that consistent top team that we know that they're capable of doing, but something there they just can't seem to piece it and keep it, get it together.
Yeah, and I'm sure they're going to go back and watch that game and try to figure out exactly how to tighten those screws and get through it as well. Probably go look at that 1v4 and wonder how on earth it ended up happening. But I think that's the first 1v4 I've seen in a while. I'm trying to remember if there are any others I've actually... There were a load of 1v3s. I know that. We've seen 1v3s, but I can't remember the last time I actually saw a 1v4. I'm sure somebody will to work it out.
I can't even think of one.
I know Super, we saw a
one.
ton of Super doing 1v3s. He was doing them for fun the other day.
Yeah.
But, no,
not in this game at least, anyway.
Yeah, it just shouldn't happen the majority of the time.
Yeah.
But
I think
suppose,
Zed
you know,
almost had one, but I think maybe almost.
Yeah, it's
Zed
possible.
was popping off in the Express yesterday, but it's been a minute. You're right.
Yeah, it's been a while. But that was such a swift 3-0 that I believe we're probably going to go to another game and see how that one's going. The game we are waiting to go for is going to be UT Crew and E-Star. I believe they're going to a game 4, so let's start talking a little bit about how that's going. So, it might even be a game 3. I think they're in game 3 at the moment. So this starts off UT Crew 250 to 115.
Oh.
And you think, wow, okay, they've blown Easter out here, but then Easter go into the search and destroy 6-1. Triple raid in the middle. We will find out the score, by the way, as soon as they're out of the raid control. And then we will join them for the raid hardpoint. But, Tan, I'll start with you. What do you think's going on?
It's hard to say. I mean, look, we know that Easter have really been struggling. The fact that they then get beat 250 to 155 on map number 1, that doesn't put them in a good spot either, does it? But UT Crew are a very, very capable squad, has to be said. So it's not out of the realms of possibility that even at the beginning of the season that we would have predicted that UT Crew could have beat Easter, because they are a very, very good squad. However, you know, in this scenario, if they are going to bring that S&D back and then we're staying on raid, I know, different game mode, but sticking with the control, obviously, we'll see what happens. I don't know, though. You think, you know, when you see that map number 1, 250 to 115, if Easter aren't winning this control, they're potentially going to be in trouble when we do get over towards that map, map number 4, I should say. So, depends which way it went.
I have the score. Would we like to take any guesses? We've got a bit of time to jump into it. Well, why have you? They've updated it before I could play my game. UT Crew did take it 3-1. There you go. It's ruined it. It's ruined my surprise. But no, at the moment, UT Crew are leading here. And I mean, just for context, right? Obviously, E-Star have a little bit of a change, but they were last stage's winners. They did great in the Open recently. And if they lose one more map, they're 0-3 to kick off Challengers Elite. How crazy is that, Ellen?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on with this squad, because like you said, they took stage 3, they got 3rd in the Open, they got 3-0'd by LEG, yesterday, but now yesterday they were winning their hard points. They couldn't close out their searches, but now they're losing their hard points and they won their search. So kind of a flip-flop from yesterday. It's just interesting. I'm not sure what's going on with this squad, but I mean, still a little bit time to get it together. And, you know, Ton says it time and time again, although some of these teams do have a shaky start and record in the season, they still just need to get top 6 and can still bring it back into the knockout in the playoffs. So Easter, yeah, you are. They have some time to do so, but I just, this is not the start that you want to have if you are them, and it's just, I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what's going on. Is it that roster change? Essentially a losing fellow. I mean, they've had, I feel like, a little bit of time to adjust now. You know,
I don't think they can fall off that hard though.
I don't.
And like with all like, and Fellow is a really good player, don't get me wrong, but you know, for me, there are better challenger players like who could make impacts than Fellow. And again, that's no disrespect on himself, but it's not like you've lost the best player in the world. You know, it's somebody. I'm not going to say he's replaceable, but he's definitely a player who can. The shoes can be filled. That's what I mean. It's, you know, they could definitely do still well without him. You don't go from winning. You wouldn't think that was the issue though. Like, you lose Fellow, you go from winning, lose Fellow. You don't then go to 0-3 just because of that.
And they won.
Didn't they also get a new coach?
This must be Mad Cat's fault.
This must be Mad Cat's fault. I'm not saying it's Mad Cat's fault. I love Mad Cat to bits, although, you know, he was weird with me earlier, but still, you'd think that actually improve with a Call of Duty brain coming on like Mad Cat at the same time, especially, you know, the relationship he has with Judd and everything. You know, they've known each other for a very long time, and I don't know. If anything, very much looking forward not only to the end of this game, but we will get to see them again later in the schedule. Meaning we can now finally have a very good look in at the minimap. Because I know obviously they're streaming, and I think Methods is actually streaming as well. But you don't get to see the rotations and the big problems on the minimap, which is why I love watching games in Codcast. I really struggle to watch games out of Codcast, which is the problem I actually have anymore. But I don't know. I think when we go into this one, you know, there's so much pressure on Easter as well to figure out, you know, why it's not going well at this point. Can they turn it around for the rest of the season? But at the same time, to do it against UT Crew is always going to be difficult, Ton.
Yeah, it is going to be difficult. I'm trying to have a look at their other games here specifically. Obviously, we've got Nemo after this in the broadcast as well. But then Built by Gamers and Team Sobriety, or Sobriety Gaming, they've got to go up against. So these are other guys who are in and around like a 1-1 or 1-2. So at the bottom, it's going to be pretty tight by the looks of things. So they still have an opportunity to get out. They just need to start winning games. I know it isn't quite that simple, but they're coming up against opposition who are not necessarily doing great either. Maybe they've got the hard games out of the way. That could potentially be it. So what? They played against LEG Academy already. They played against the System already. Those two guys are top 2. So I don't know. They've still got some, so to speak, weaker opposition to go up against.
They certainly do. Well, let's see what's going to happen then. Of course, we are now joining them here in this series. UT Crew currently up 2-1 against Easter as we go into the raid hardpoint. We're going to be on board with Methods. Sees John down low. They're already getting pressure from Jerd. Jerd managed to get that kill into top Laundry. And now Dylan Rex is going to try and redeem Laundry control.
Yep, and not a bad start for Easter as Dylan Rex is just trying to ruin that streak, and UT Crew managing to get some time on the board. But if you take a look at number 7 on your mini map, that back Laundry spawns. Those is going to be the initial gunfight for that new PC rotation. That's going to be very important. And Gravity here is going to work towards that kitchen, and the fights are going to start to come in as Sib is just trying to hold on with his life in the back, and the push is going to start to come through.
You see them trying to do it as well. Dylan Rex is going to be sitting back jungle on the rock. Needs reinforcements, really, if he's going to try and make this play, or at least to distract them. Taking so long with it as well. He might be able to get around the back here, and that's exactly what he needed. The distraction has been open. Now Jerd alive, alone, completely alone to see it. Eventually he does take Methods, trying to get his way. Dylan Rex looking the wrong way. Slapped! Is going to stay alive and eventually take down Jerd, but what a ridiculous turn there to get it. I don't know what Dylan Rex was looking at in the end. Clearly suddenly caught as a notion out by Paul, but John gets 2 as well, and it will be Easter who managed to break back into kitchen.
Yep. Bringing the lead deficit definitely much closer now, as we definitely have a game on our hands. But UT Crew able to sweep out Easter as they get this remaining scrap time, and looks like Easter's just going to decide to chalk up that point as they get set up on that garage hill, and fights are going to start to come in as Dylan Rex is just working towards this pillar side here as he takes out Sib. Very, very important kill, but he's alive here in this art side, and he's going to have his teammates, also Phantoms, who's on that opposite side, pushing through the pool house. And the collapse is going to slowly start to come through. How exactly are they going to break this one? That's a good way to start. Picking up John now. Methods with the trade on to Sib is UT Crew still fighting to try to fight for this point, but ultimately it's Easter still holding alive and Slack now left alone. With the help of Dylan Rex, see what he can do as they have to work towards and push onto site, but Easter still holding on.
Yeah, holding on even in the face of Slack dropping 5 as well. They're trying to get through this one, but the nade by John will completely shut them down as well. Slack, though, coming in to take Sib, and eventually this rotation will come in, but with 22 seconds left of scrap time, UT Crew will take it and go back into the lead here. John's going to go around the back, eventually goes down as well. And Jerd has found a small gap here. They have managed to get in the basketball, but not the greatest setup for them as well. See Jerd actually pushing out towards the back with Gravity, and now trying to go away. He's alone again here. Finds himself in this scenario. Does win the first gunfight. Looking for more. Waiting for his team desperately. They're going out. Sees Methods on the stairs. Gets that first kill. Goes with the Diamante again.
Big kill.
And will eventually go down. And that is all UT Crew now as Phantoms and Co. take control of basketball.
Yep. Huge gunfights in the back there with Phantoms and Dylan Rex as they secure the basketball spawns, and now the Easter having to push through the front. Gravity able to get an opening pick there. Now that's 2, but Methods with a huge 2-piece, and now can he get the third on the Sib? Sib takes him down, and now Dylan Rex dancing around this point, gets a shot punch there onto Sib, and ultimately still eats UT Crew, who hold on to control. 22 seconds left on the point, and Easter still going to be flooding a little bit through the front, but two players, as you can see, number 3 and 4, rotating towards that raid side, and Gravity dancing to death with Methods here, but Methods ultimately able to clean that up, and it's just UT Crew lighting up the feed right now as they rotate over to this new point. And now, as I say that, Easter and now Easter trade back and wipe them all down. It's really the battle for the death, because just like you said, Easter, they don't want to lose this one. They don't want to be down yet again for the day, and really gonna have to work hard to fight to bring this to the map 5. And Jerd is just doing that. 15-7 from him on a 3 streak, Brycey.
Crazy plays. Jerd having a very good game so far. Rest of his team trying to back him up here as they get the rest of this time to go back into the lead. Jerd desperate, trying to stay alive in P5. Has a little bit of reinforcements with him, but it might not be enough as he starts pre-firing everybody in this area. Slack laying down as well. Jerd eventually goes to challenge. Doesn't need to. Sib backs him up. The rotation to ring is going to be coming in very, very shortly, and it will be UT Crew who do have it at the moment. Dinerac actually going to be looking for Gravity as well, but truth of the story is there's also a player, John, all the way around back Laundry. You can see the push now coming in. Is John going to find Phantoms? He does, and that opens it up, but eventually gets traded out, as it will be UT Crew to retake the lead here, but only just.
Gravity fighting to cut his way through everybody, but Phantoms, Methods just locking it down with the Kriegs in hand. Now Slacked. It looks like they have a third one on board, and UT Crew holding on. Gravity trying to find a way to cut it down here, but working towards this middle site again. It's just Methods locking it down, making it rain, and you just see every single member, it looks like, of UT Crew with just a Krieg in hand now. They're just locking down every single lane. Easter, this is looking a little bit troublesome now as UT Crew take a 20-point lead. A little over 20 now, close to 30. And that might be, yeah, that's probably a very good break now. As we take a look at Jerd working towards that back Laundry spawn, and this is really going to be important for Easter as backs against the wall. They need to hold on to this point.
Oh, that timing on his Jerd. Dylan Rex will find him, and that's going to cause a little bit of a problem here. Dylan Rex being a thorn in the side. It has broken Kitchen as he ends up distracting them at the same time. Ends up actually coming through, getting Gravity, but also his teammates. But it is enough because now UT Crew are in control, and that's going to be so unfortunate. Dylan Rex played his position perfectly. Easter thought they had it and just didn't. But with 35 seconds left to go, it is going to have to be a challenge here from Easter, and it will be Gravity who gets 2 towards the back. The fight going on towards the front as well, and Jerd gets 2, wipes it out, and now we're off to the races. It's time to rotate to Garage, but UT Crew are set up and ready.
Yep, they needed that, but this is going to be a huge break from Easter's. You see John, number 3, in the middle of the minimap there, separating the spawns as both UT Crew, they had the pool house spawn, and now John managing to get away with this life. Gets tagged up a little bit by Dylan Rex there, but the fights are going to start to come through. John manages to able to take down Slack. He's going to work towards this garage side. Here it is. Doesn't manage to connect onto Dylan Rex. Dylan Rex staying alive, but the trades do come in now. Gravity working towards that weight side as UT Crew still remain in control, and Slack just dip dodging away as he has help from his teammates. Able to take down the kill onto John, and now the pressure's going to come through, and UT Crew just holding every single angle they can to inch them closer and closer towards the lead. They can take away with this 30 more points, but they're going to have to start pushing through, and Easter's going to have to decide, do we chalk this or do we just hold on every single second of the new rotation on that pool hill?
Oh. Wow, great shots from Phantoms, but it's Dylan Rex is the story as well as Slack. 24 and 13, the pair of them, with almost identical time on the hill. Jerd left alone again here. He's going to have to try and keep Phantoms away from him. Has managed to do it. And I tell you something, Easter really need the time here on basketball. Pressure coming in. Sib trying to hold Kitchen and make sure that no more pressure comes through. Dylan Rex in there as well as a teammate, having to furiously backpedal. Needs reinforcements from his teammates. UT Crew now flooding in close. They have Kitchen control, and they're going to try and make this break. You can already see Methods and John are going to end up getting some kills. But Sib there trying to one through L, but it will be Dylan Rex and Slacked again, who have been lights out so far in this hard point. They're just doing such ridiculous work. Jones has to get back into the hill, help his teammates. Method's going to be in the window. And they are holding this, Ellen. They are doing just enough, but on the looming is always going to be Dylan Rex and Slacked, who pair up again to cut down Easter.
Oh, and you just named it right there. That was huge coming in from Slacked in the back there. He's on a 5 streak right now, but John's still trying to stay alive. As there is 8 seconds, they're going to have to play this from the front. 2 kills go down. Now that's 3 for Easter as they managed to somehow do it. Staying alive, securing the strat time, but again, UT Crew is first on the rotation onto that mid hill, and Methods is just gonna hold this. The push is gonna come in through kitchen. Looks like it's gonna come in through all sides. He managed to take down one. Can he get down John now? John just desperately trying to stay alive into the point. Now Methods, huge double kill coming in from him. Now UT Crew 2 seconds away from securing the win here, and there you have it. Pricey UT Crew, what a crazy game. But overall, man, Slacked, Methods, I felt like all of them were just taking turns dominating the kill feed right there.
Yeah, it was a crazy play coming out from the UT Crew, but Dylan Rex and Slacked were difference makers. Like I said, a lot of time on the hill as well as a ridiculous KD. So, Ton, pretty fast and furious there, but needs to go away with another loss.
Yeah, that's 0-3 now, and this is when the Inquisition has to start. As said, the teams they have played have been very good. That's already UT Crew, LEG Academy,
Yeah, Ton, you've
and then of
muted
course,
yourself, my friend. Unfortunately,
look, the stream could hear me, so
okay.
they were here when I was saying it was just you, but that was my bad. Either way, what I was saying is they've already played 3 really good opposition. They need to bounce back now. They arguably played the top 3 teams. Yes, okay, they have lost every single one of them, but the bounce back needs to start happening. Hopefully, their confidence isn't in the bin. I'd imagine it's partially there, at least anyway. But look, they've still got a chance to make it in the top 6, but this is not the start they would have wanted at all.
no, it really isn't the start they wanted, but chance to redeem themselves, and we're going to watch it live because we do have more games to come tonight, and of course our schedule for the day. So, of course, we started off in Europe. Team War defeated Hot Tub Meta 3-0, and August took down Los Pepes 3-2. And then the game we just watched, but not the game we actually just watched, Trash Bros took down Built by Gamers 3-0. And coming up next, our potential last game of the night, because always we will go and watch another game if we have time, Nemo versus Easter. Easter are the team we are all talking about because we don't really understand what's going wrong. They look like they're playing very well against UT Crew in the hardpoint we have just seen, but currently they are sitting 0-3 in Challengers Elite, and I don't think anybody expect that from the offset, Ellen.
You said it, Bryce. No one expected it. But I mean, like, Ton did make a very good point that they had essentially played some of the harder teams and got them knocked out of the way. So going into this next matchup against Nemo, I mean, they need it. They need it. There's just nothing else more to say. If they want to be a top 6 team, at least to make it to playoffs and claw their way back up to the top. But if they want to see another win under their belt, they have to turn it around, and they have to do it now into this next game.
Yeah, and I think, Tan, that's the real big story here as well. Like, how do they get back into this? How do they regain? How do a team who, you know, by all rights, we were very much looking forward to seeing again, do very, very well in Challengers Elite, regain at this point with such a scoreline? I don't know. I honestly don't even know where to begin.
It's super difficult, isn't it? But the thing is that they don't seem to be piecing it together consistently. We said yesterday that their hard points were looking a little bit better, but today they've lost 2 out there immediately. It's very, very difficult to judge what is going wrong specifically for them. It's just not working out. And the problem is they fall from being the best team in North America Challenger side of things to now being 0-3. So there's got to be some sort of inquisition inside the team to sort of say, right, okay, why is this happening? We need to change around immediately.
Do you think that's like... I tell you what, there are a lot of questions. There are a lot of questions. And we will answer them. But we will answer them live with gameplay because that's way more fun to do it. So don't go anywhere. Coming up after the break, we will be seeing Nemo versus Easter here on the Challengers Elite broadcast. We'll see you right after this. Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome back to Call of Duty Challengers Elite. We are sorry for the delay. There's been a few mix-ups in the fact that some teams take a little bit longer to get in the game. We're trying to get you the best game possible and everything. And if in the end you're still disappointed, just do what I do and blame Chris Tunn, who's joined here by Ellen. So, Ellen, how are you?
I'm fantastic, Brycey. I'm really excited to see the final matches for the night. As I know it's been a pretty crazy day so far. So overall, I'm feeling pretty good. Pretty good.
Awesome, good to hear. And I suppose, Chris Tunn, how are you? Late nights? Is it prime Tunn time?
Honestly, it would be if you weren't here. I think you just bring me down.
Oh. We're going like that, are we? We're just
well,
you
started
off with some...
You started
okay,
it.
Well,
okay.
We were going to talk about the game that we're about to see, but before we do that, I just want to point out here that Chris Tunn is an avid mountain biker and has a very expensive bike and goes regularly. And you'd think with that being his number one hobby, he wouldn't then go buy a Peloton to do it inside as well. I just think that's weird.
You see, are we going to have this conversation?
I just thought it was worth mentioning.
I don't think it's weird. I think if people...
I think it is.
I'm not very... Okay,
you
I'm
like
not going to get into
so
it.
much. You bought a bike to go inside your house. Doesn't make any sense to me at all.
Right, we're not... Bryce, I'm not
At least you can't fall off, I suppose.
I mean, it could realistically happen as well, in fairness. If somebody shoved me off, I'd like to shove you off something. Anyway, continue.
Okay.
This has been happening all night.
I tell you what, we'll get away from that, and that was just an inkling of the conversation we had off stream, but we should bring you in and talk about the game we are actually going to be watching. The System versus Built by Gamers is the game we'll now be showing. All Call of Duty gameplay from here on out, I promise. Moscow Hardpoint, Raid Search and Destroy, Raid Control, Raid Hardpoint, and then an Express Search and Destroy if we get towards the end here. So, to bring you up to speed, we did see Built by Gamers just a little while ago, and they got taken down by Trash Bros. What's going to be different for them here, Ellen?
Well, backs against their wall. I mean, they essentially, right now, they beat Nemo, but they did lose to Trash Bros and they did lose to UT Crew. Right now, being 1-2, this is a very important win for them, and it's kind of hard to do so if you look at it. The System is undefeated, but they did take map 1. So going into this, they're going to need this win if they want to secure a better record. But the System, 4-0, it's going to be tough to do so.
It certainly is. All right, well, let's get this game underway and see exactly how it's all going to go down. Over to our casters for this one, of course, Tunn and Ellen.
Thank you very much, Brycey. At least we're talking about Call of Duty now and not my exercising habits, which have been fairly low as of recent, but we'll not get into that. Of course, map number 1 is already done and dusted in the series. Built by Gamers took that one and won. Well, let's see, it seemed pretty convincing when we jumped over to it, and that is a very, very quick round of Search and Destroy. The System taking the lead here early on Raid. But yeah, System really do need this, but at the same time, you know, they've been playing really, really well. Looking good for them so far. But a game against BBG, and I think this is our point about BBG, is that they just lost their last game pretty badly to Trash Bros. But now they find themselves at 1-0 over the System, who are 3-0. Like,
yeah,
this is what doesn't make sense.
Yeah, and it's super hard too. You know, the System, again, they had multiple comebacks where they were fighting against UT Crew. They ended up taking that in the Raid Control after being down over, and again, we just see the System clutch up. But Built by Gamers did a very good job at securing the win for that Moscow hardpoint, and now into the Search and Destroy. They're going to have a battle on their hands as fights go down towards this B site. And now the opening pick comes in from Zed as he takes down Kismet, now Built by Gamers in a tough predicament here, as the System does have the plant off, and Fellow just scrambling away with his life. What can he do on this one here, Tunn?
They don't have anybody top mansion as well. We know it's pretty much the prime position, but got our X from the other side. Easily done. He knows he's on there. Zed, if you can get him off it and get out, there you go. It's only a 1v3 that becomes achievable, but far too weak. And can't get away. Panda will get the defuse, and this will be one apiece. Built by Gamers. Nice one to get back, but that was a threatening one from Zed. The 1v3 was on the cards.
Yep. And time again, we see Zed definitely clutch up in that search and destroy. I feel like he's that thorn, you know, he's always getting those opening picks and always playing aggressive or playing some type of corner where it's just very, very hard to pick off. And Zed is such an electric, fast-paced player that definitely one to look out for. But Built by Gamers, huge round for them to win that, as we've mentioned before. Not the best season start that they've had since yesterday, but looking to turn it around now. The aggressive push comes in towards that A site. And already set up Pander on this raid point as he's looking for a pick, but Pentagram pushed up early on that laundry side. Shots do come in, but Fellow and Zinx, both there holding the push as they managed to take down 2, and now very, very convincing side for the system. They look to hold here.
Yep, looking like it is going to be that win. They just traded out. This has been a very, very fast-paced search and destroy. Everyone just flying at each other. Can barely get a sentence out. The round is pretty much done.
Yep.
Here we go. Will be Fellow picking up the best play of the game. It's as easy of a kill as he's likely to pick up. Second one got traded after he did fall down, but nonetheless, good start from the system here. They need this one. Built by Gamers up 1-0 as mentioned. And I think, you know, looking from the outside in, based on what we've seen from Built by Gamers so far, you definitely would have expected the system to come into this one and win it relatively comfortably. But Built by Gamers, when we did tune in, it was on one of the community streams, of course. They were smoking them in map number 1 in Moscow. We'll get the definitive scoreline of what that finished up as, because I know we weren't too sure what game we were going to be going into. Yeah. But right now, again, the pace of this search and destroy has not slowed. Zinx now, shots that went in. Bad spot, good spot from Panda, though. Really nice shots, going to come in 2 apiece now. And this is just running in the middle of the map and see who wins the trades, essentially. Very, very quick.
Yep, indeed. Both rounds seem to be very fast, and both teams essentially taking those defenses. But now on the attacking side, Built by Gamers and Pander just today just seems to have been playing pretty well across the board, and now it's just even out on 2 streak, 5-2. And see if they can manage to get a point here. Now, if you actually see, the members of the system do not have the B site control, so now they're going to be playing for the retake, and the push is going to be coming towards that mid now.
Let's just run to a site, get something down, or we'll die. And Kismet, unfortunately, is going to be stuck there. This is such a hard retake because you need mansion control as well.
Yep.
Nobody going on the flank. It's been very, very static, very simple search and destroy from both these two teams. Not sure I'm loving the lack of strategy behind any of it. So hit a bomb site and kind of go from there. Either way, 3-2.
Wow, and you look at Built by Gamers too, and you probably didn't necessarily expect this turn of events, but still very early on in the series. In the game, rather, but Free Fire is going to come in there from GodRx as Kismet does push down the mid-map, and Desi going to try to fight away with this life here as the sun comes in and the pre-fires come in, but overall that bomb site is making its way towards that A site. Kismet, the aggressive play, pushes on to Desi and manages to take him down, and now the system player down. That bomb site on A in hand. Built by Gamers again, just looking ever so strongly at Kismet with 2. That's just complete map control from Built by Gamers and almost making it look too easy here, Ton.
I mean, I honestly feel like we've been in the search and destroy for less than 5 minutes, yeah. But yet we are 6 rounds deep. This has been unrelenting. My goodness me. Just across the board, everybody doing well. The system that haven't been able to find those opening picks and ultimately being traded out. This has not went as well as they would have liked. Here come the opening picks though. What's it going to go again? It's going to be Built by Gamers. It's getting very aggressive, and it's just such a different way to play a raid search and destroy. Over in Europe, it is definitely a lot slower. Got RX with a semi-decent grenade in the end after he just find one, but ultimately finding a teammate as well doesn't make things very easy. 4-3 now. That's tough. It's a well-placed grenade.
Yeah.
Just maybe didn't expect
That fast
his teammate to make the push. Yeah.
Yep. That fast push from Fellow there too. That opening pick. It's just the speed. It's speed really from both teams. You just see it on both sides. But GodRx not having a bad game either. 9-4, and Fellow again had a fast play last time around, and now it looks like we might see the same thing here as they push towards that A's site. The nades flying in, the trophy's coming out. And this time we might see a little bit dance and dust around the laundry side as Desi does take down Pander. Now that's 2 for Desi. He's got the 30. He's got a Rex in the back to worry about. He's stun checking. But ultimately, his teammate's going to get that plant down. Now Pentagram and both got a Rex. Let's see what they can do here as they work the back. Pentagram manages to get away with his life. 43 health. Now Ton, they have a very hard retake here, but 30 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, it's very difficult, isn't it? Small choke points to make your way through. Fellow will find GodRx, and that will be 4 apiece. These teams really just going for these opening breaks, seeing what they can get from that. It was really down to Desi finding the 2 kills here, making things a lot easier to get this plant down. You get laundry control, you usually do win the round. 4-4 though. It's been it's very strange S&D. I don't know if I'm just so used to the way that Europe plays it, which is a lot slower. A lot more, well, I want to say a lot more methodical. It feels as if this is just like, right, gun up, let's get going. I think he's going to find the first kill on the Panda.
Now Pentagram just pushing through there. But yeah, Zed. You always catch him holding one of those angles, and out there with the help of his team, but GodRx manages to cut down Desi now.
This fellow on the flank though. He's about to fall. That is unfortunate. Fellow gets a hold of the bomb, and that is going to be around. Surely over to the system. Kismet would do very well to get much going from here. Does have 40 seconds on the clock though, so maybe something can get going, but I mean,
the problem is the bomb. Yeah.
Yeah. If he has bomb, then this is achievable. The 1v3, yeah, they spotted him as well. That's a big wrap all the way around. I presume he's going to go through Art. Shots coming in from Fellow. He's grabbed a hold of the bomb as well. Could make the route out towards B here. Yeah, I tell you what, he's done so well, but he's not going to get much further. Good shots coming through the system. 5-4, and that's a few rounds in a row now for them. Very much back into this game. The best player coming out with Fellow. Cole comes from mid-map and hits the shots with the Krig. Very nicely done.
Yeah, and that's tough too if you're Kismet. I mean, it's hard to clutch. You got time that's just not on your side. Then you have the bomb down, and ultimately it looked like the system knew where that was. And although he could have maybe made the wrap to A, but very hard to do so. Excuse me, to B, but now we might see an aggressive push, and already looks like the system's onto that B site, but Guildfight Gamers recognizing this. They're gonna have to flood on through, and take a look at number 3 on your minimap too. I'm curious to see if Panda might work a flank here, but those battles are gonna go down, and they're gonna go down now. Desi working in that outside push, and he gets a huge 2-piece, and Fellow follows on the trade, but now Pander there. But ultimately, their system is just set up in those trading positions, and I mean, just like you said, Ton, it just seemed like the speed from both teams just very, very fast, very aggressive. Not really anything melodical going, but kind of just players taking off, just in those huge key clutches.
Yeah, they're trying to get me to bed early tonight. I think that's how things are rolling. Look how fast that was between these two teams. My goodness me, we fly through the search and destroy very, very quickly. and into a control and the game all tied up. So it does make things very interesting in this series. Built by Gamers with a very good start, of course, in the hardpoint. We'll get that scoreline along to you in just a second as well, but it was convincing at one stage. Curious to see how it did end ourselves actually as well. But that Search and Destroy, back and forth, both teams quite happy to just go with the pace, go with the 4-man hits. There was nothing too crazy in terms of strategy. It was a case of making sure you're hitting laundry on your attack when you're pushing A, when you're pushing B, make sure you're getting control of Tiki. That's essentially what teams were doing. There was nothing too crazy in the sense of trying different strategies. It was very much the 4-man hit every single time. When it works out for the system in the end, I just don't know how to feel about that Search and Destroy. It kind of felt like I was watching an 8 series. It was just very, very strange.
Yeah, well, I definitely know what you mean. It just didn't, like you said, just kind of just aggressively push towards a bomb site and just pick a site and let's go. Didn't really anything melodic that happened, and just if you're BBG though, I mean, you take a look at this team, right, and they're undefeated. The system for the most part has been playing consistent so far in this stage, and currently being undefeated. That's pretty good to the fact that you did beat him in the hard point, and then you did take him 6-4 in the Search and Destroy. So arguably maybe the system here is the best team in the league. Now, of course, we still have LAG Academy to worry about, but to do this against a team who is undefeated right now, that is still good to have under their belt. But into this raid control, I don't believe that the system is going to make it easy, of course. BBG is really going to need a win under their belt right here. Well, just got word here, Ton, that LAG Academy just lost to Nemo, so never mind on that one.
Yep, it was a long series by the looks of things between those two. Just finishing up, that's 2 hours it took to get through that. Yeah, that's a long one. But anyway, into the control here. This one tied up, and of course, as mentioned, the system 3-0 in the league right now. Built by Gamers, not in the best of spots themselves though, and really could do with this win. Decimate momentarily, the last alive for his team, and A is more than likely going to be given up. Of course, on raid, it is very much the easy one to take, and that is a full 2 minutes for Built by Gamers to make this B push. Very, very slight life for advantage, but shouldn't make too much of a difference. Well held by Zed. Can he get 3? Not quite. I don't think he was expecting them so soon. Very well played, though, and the system will rebuttal that attack that came through from Built by Gamers.
Yep, and the problem here is, yes, they did solidify A, but just like you said, B is the more harder point to capture, and Jesse was pushed up into that pool house, so that's good. Now, Built by Gamers clearing out the pool side to manage that opening point, and they have, if you take a look at Pander in that kitchen side who's raining havoc, so maybe might be in a position to push forward, but Built by Gamers looking to do just that as the fights come down towards that mid-map, and now Kismet desperately trying to fight. Zinx takes him out. And now, again, the push is going to come through the front. Opening break comes in from Pentagram, who manages to take out Fellow, and now Zinx holding down that money side. Still, Built by Gamers overall have control, but Zed is going to be pushing through the pool. Stairs gets taken out, and now Fellow managing to clear out that point. They're really going to have to just keep that aggression and push forward here, as Built by Gamers still fighting desperately from the front here, Son.
Trying their hardest. And the system very much down on the lives department here. Need to find a flurry of kills if they possibly can, but Built by Gamers is starting to make this push. Pentagram, Godorex, Kismet all combining, and look at that from Kismet. I love it when I see how accurate players are at taking down these trophy systems.
That's it.
Bang, bang, trophy gone, bang, round done. Built by Gamers, 1-0 up, and that's an attack under their belt as well. And this is the annoyance with Built by Gamers, man. Like, they're going up against the only undefeated team now in the system. And they're really causing them problems. Zed with the best player, but it will not matter.
Right,
Another
normally it's
round
opposite. It's opposite usually. We see teams that, you know, they will completely destroy maybe favorable teams that aren't doing the best, but Built by Gamers is opposite. Maybe they lose to those weaker teams, but they win against the stronger teams. So some sort of level of consistency is kind of shaken with this squad, but still fighting alive here as they make a statement on the defending side. 3 down already for Built by Gamers, and now the system, once again, backs against their wall. Desi able to open up that kill, opening that open break, but Built by Gamers looking pretty strong already onto the side.
Oh, it's looking solid for them, and has to be said. Good hold over towards B. System now. What is plan B? This is a lot of kills difference so far. 4 streak for Pentagram, 4 streak for Kismet. Make that 5 for Penta. My god, I mean, they are just running through them. The system can't get out the spawn, and now it's going to start getting set up a little bit here. Thankfully, a spawn towards Arden. Driveway side. Helps the system out, but it's the only thing that can. Fellow does find 2, though, over towards the B side, and can maybe get a pinch in a different direction going in a second, but apparently knows Pentagram's behind him. May have heard the push. At least got a call out for one of his teammates who may have seen him, but nonetheless, looking like it is going to be captured here, but look at the life difference so far. Kismet finding 2 in the middle. This is Built by Gamers just absolutely frying, but look at that from Zinx as well. God knows what's going on. Ellen, this game is so fast-paced.
So fast-paced, so back and forth, and what was that? That second kill, Zinx just had to capture A. Now the fights are coming in at B. Built by Gamers, still fighting alive, but now it's Fellow at the point by himself. Built by Gamers cleared out the point, but they still have Desi to worry about, who just had a huge shoot piece. And now, a minute 30 left. The system still has plenty of time to secure this. Oh my goodness, the fast pace of this, but the problem is here, Ton, is the fact that the live advantage in favor of BBG. This is going to be very, very difficult for the system, and they have to figure out. They have a minute to do so.
It's impossible, but
we've seen this before.
We've seen it before. As mentioned, 3v11 now becomes a little bit more difficult, though, doesn't it? You need to find the kills perfectly. That's not going to happen. It's going to be up to Zinx, who's left on his own. Built by Gamers, another round. Get the defensive side of things. They have another attack to find, but they have that final defensive round in their back pocket.
You know, I think about that.
To take a 2-1 lead.
I think about that live, the 3 versus 11, and for some reason I go back to the NYSL Academy game. Or no, it wasn't even Academy. I believe it's actually the NYSL squad. I don't know if you remember that, but I just remember the cloistered performance when they were like 3-11 on that checkmate control, and they came back and won. I think about that, and it's like you can't count them out, right?
No, you can't. At the end of the day, how often do we see it where teams will find 4 down on control and very quickly you can just find that capture point so fast. It's stacking the point kind of makes it possible, doesn't it? You find 4 quick kills and all of a sudden the round can be over within a matter of seconds. And it doesn't matter how many lives you got at that point.
I agree.
Push coming in here though. It looks as if B was the initial hit from Built by Gamers, just trying to find some kills where they can. Just this pace has been relentless. From the word go and the search and destroy, to be honest with you, from what we've seen. 100 miles an hour. Right now though, Built by Gamers have a ticket B, have a ticket A as well, but obviously A will be the priority at that time on. System have cleared them out though, and will gain some control in the mid-map, but then that's when Built by Gamers transfer their efforts over towards B. They're playing a very good control game here, and here come the kill trades. Which way they're going to go? Just about in the favor of the system, but that's 2 ticks over a B. I think if you're Built by Gamers, yep, there you go. You stack it over towards A. You get all the progress you want. You've got 2 minutes to get 1 tick at B.
Yep. And Gato Rex, I'm not sure exactly what went down there, but he actually fell off the map. So now Built by Gamers just lost pool control, that top bedroom area, very important for this B site. But now the test of patience comes in from Kismet. He's going to wait for his team to push potentially through the back, collapsing onto this point essentially as the system, they are set up in the front, the pool house, and then they have to worry about Desi the mid, and they took him down. So now we might start to see the flood come in, and you have Pander in the back who gets taken out by Desi. They have to spawn there. Does get traded out, but overall, it's still built by gamers, still set up in that kitchen side, and the system have to find a way to clear them out of their base. But again, the system in a very good spot as they do have that top bedroom control here.
Yeah, they're finding the kills. It doesn't matter that the one tick is there if you can't get on top of it at all.
Yep.
Very well played so far by the system. Zed, watch it. Oh, see ya. Okay, he'll take that all day long. He's going to find anything else. Doesn't need to. The rest of the team here. Kismet finds two, though. And can this now be the break? Will he expect any player so high up? I don't think he would. Philip catches him with his pants down, but Pentagram from behind. Ugh. Can't find anything. Built by Gamer is now down on lives, but as said, it just takes that one break. If you're the system, you've got to play this awkward. You've got to stay alive as best you can. This is a big moment. Can they get the kill onto Zed? Ugh.
Oh no.
Shots in from Fellow. Zed is going to take himself down, though, and Fellow finds another. No respawns remaining. Built by Gamers. It needs to be perfect. They get a nice spawn here as well. Kismet got RX finding the kills. 6 seconds. They step inside. That grenade's going to hurt, but is it going to hurt enough? Zed from behind, from the pillars. He doesn't find anything. Panda got RX. Going to find the kills. Fellow coming in with 2, though. Is that going to be it? As Panda answers back with 2 of his own. They're in the point. Zinx and Zed, the only ones there, and Built by Gamers do it. Oh my goodness me.
Oh my goodness. I mean, the trades are just coming back and forth, the pace of that, but Built by Gamers able to pull it away. Wow. Where was this squad earlier today? But I'm glad that they're here now because this is the team again that we know and love. BBG, take it. I'm really
Ellen,
surprised.
Ellen, I don't love them because it doesn't make any sense. Okay, right? They go in a game and it's very much on the day, on the series how they're playing. It doesn't really make too much sense. Honestly, North America it's a strange place at the moment in terms of how things are breaking down in the Call of Duty Challengers Elite. These games are making no sense.
They are
making no sense.
I know.
And the speed of the game as well. Mm-hmm. Nobody was letting up for a second.
I don't know. I mean, I really know that this squad, I don't know. I don't know where the consistency factor lies. And honestly, like, you just look at these teams and you wonder how in the hell are they pulling this off. But
I honestly, it was such a crazy end to that final round though as well. As said, the pace has just been unrelenting across the board from these two teams, but it has made it very, very entertaining. We'll get the maps up in a second to figure out what's going to be coming up next because, well, I mean, look, this is for the system. The flawless record is very much on the line as we head into map number 4. Obviously, map number 5 is still potentially on the cards with a 2-1 lead for BBG, but we will find out which way this is going to go very, very shortly. It's been another crazy week to kick off Season 4. Of course, next week we will be back once again, not ourselves personally, but we'll be back on the stream next week. I do believe it'll be Spaceman, Ali, and Fox joining yourselves for the second week of games, and then we'll be back for the final week. But this has been super interesting so far. Built by Gamers, 250 to 184. The system get it done in a tight search and destroy. Control was anything but tight at a 3-0 for Built by Gamers, although that last round, very clutch from them. Now we head into a raid hard point. I don't know how I feel about this one. Honestly, I think Built by Gamers might just take this. They might just do it here.
You know, I don't want to get overzealous, but I just feel like that we might see a game 5, truthfully. And I'm not trying to jinx anything, but you look at the control yesterday and you look at the system and they played UT Crew on it. They were down 0-2, so they did end up coming back to win, but maybe that was a little bit of a slip for them. Maybe that is more of a weaker map for the system on that raid control. But the raid hardpoint, we already know, well, they did struggle against the hardpoint the first time around. So yeah, I mean, I can see where you do think that Built by Gamers is, but I mean, a lot of course, the system is on the line for BBG. So, I mean, yeah, I can see where you'd say that. They need to turn up, and they need to do it now, because if they don't, they will be 1-3.
Yeah, and it's not good for BBG. I mean, look, you look at that roster, and you just expect a lot more out of it, realistically, don't you? I mean, what, you've got GodRx, Kismet, Panda, Pentagram. All these guys have been at the very top of their game for a couple of years now. They've been in top teams. They've been in franchise teams. They were in good teams before the franchise roster and the Call of Duty League came around. They are good players. It's just not working out for them as a team right now, but it is working out for them in this series specifically. The consistency isn't necessarily there for them, but when they're playing at a high level, they are very difficult to beat. And, well, second time's the charm. We loaded in on that one super quickly, and, well, that's not ideal. The stick comes in from Zed over the top, and the system trying to get some control straight off the rip here, but we know how important these rotations are on Raid specifically. Let's see who's going to get the benefit of the better spawns towards Kitchen's side as we head over there in 39 seconds. We've still got a lot to play for here on P1.
Yeah, the split spawns kind of came in there from BBG, but ultimately they don't have the favorable one, as the system have a strong start here. Fellow 3-1, not a bad start for him. He's just looking to lock down this raid side, and BBG still spawning out that art side. He does manage to take out Pander, now gets traded out. Zed also desperately trying to fight to stay alive, and he did a good job in doing so, but now at the new point, the system is set up, and GodRx is going to look to break through this laundry side, and Pander's looking to the push to the front, but the pushes comes through, and now system does clear out 3, and Pentagram still fighting around this pillar, and he gets 2, but Decimate trades him out, and still the system remain in control, but the system, or excuse me, Kismet in the back, just being annoying back there, trying to solidify the spawns.
Yep. Looks like they do get a hold of the spawns with still 30 seconds to go, and they very much need these points. Just about tied up here, but we can see the rotations already come through from the system. Happy to lock this one in. It's just Zed causing issues. Finds one, can't find the second. Thereby Gamers will get the rest of this time, and it's a foot race towards the garage now. The system have this one locked in, but look at the spawn out for Zed. Where's the rest of the team going to spawn? They are going to spawn towards the garage, so a bit of a split spawn there. Pentagram and Co seem to be pushing from Mansion's side. Can Fellow lock this one down?
Yep, he has to worry about that pool push coming through. Pentagram and GodRx are there to worry about, and he does take down Pentagram, and now GodRx the last one alive. He has the help from Desi. Desi gets tagged up. Now huge gunfight comes in, and he wins it. Now the system still remain in control, but the flood is going to come through BBG on this raid side. Can they break? How are they going to break? That's a good way to break. Kismet throws the nade on there to Zinx, but again, it's still Kismet pushing through, taking down Fellow, and now you see Zed dancing around that point, contesting the hill, getting a very important kill onto GodRx, and still solidifying those points for the scrap, and huge gunfights coming down to that pool side, and Built by Gamers now looking to answer back. But they have control over this pool, and this is a very good position to do so. The question is how are they going to hold?
Yeah, well, that's the thing. I mean, how often do we see it on Raid? The rotations really are king.
Yep.
Get yourself locked in, and all of a sudden, that 40-point lead that the system have could disappear very, very quickly. They're going to be taken down initially. They've had a lot of time to set up here. Can the system find the break? Look at that from Zed. Just so accurate, trying to push through. Other trade's going to be there. Panda finding the kill on the Zinx. Is Desi going to be able to find anything? Not quite. Panda finds another. Kismet following up there as well. Now they're going to have to defend from the jungle side push from the system. 20 seconds behind, and they very well could take the lead here. It's going to be pushed through money as well. Somebody in Tiki covering that. That's going to be Penta. It's fairly clean. Oh my goodness. Built by Gamers are well and truly back into this game. P5 rotation. Pentagram still holding that sprint stick down and running forward.
Yep. And that's
just so hard to deal with.
Yeah, he is just a menace. But Built by Gamers needed that hold to take the lead, and that they have. So now GodRx fighting for this mid control as Fellows is kind of dancing around him. The nades are flying out. Fellow does get tagged up. Got a wreck, still with 4 health and staying alive. Finally, Fellow's like, get out of here. Pushes him and takes him down. And so now that's a 2-piece secured.
Playing for streaks. Panda's playing for streaks. See if he can find them because they are important on this map. He just gets baited out. Desi will find them. That's a big kill and another. As the system finding themselves a good chunk of time here. Desi on a 5 spray as well. Streaks can be very influential on this map. Very open in places, specifically on some hills as well.
There it is.
Desi gets a hold of them now. Not quite the missile, but the artillery is there. Shots in from Zed as well, so we're going to start over towards the second rotation. It's about a 30-point game, but it has been back and forth. Ultimately, I think, the system have rotated maybe that little bit smarter, but Built by Gamers had one really, really good hold, and that's put them right back into this game, Ellen.
Yep, it certainly has, and now Built by Gamers trying to flood through the pillars there. Give managed to get 2. Now Decimate dancing around the pillars. Gets taken down by Pentagram, but ultimately, Zinx still holding on to this laundry control as tries to clear out the players of BBG onto the site, and Fellow shrieking out yet again on a 5 streak. He currently was just previously on a 4. Now he gets taken down, so now Fellow loses those streaks yet again for the second time. And overall, the huge gunfights are going to start to happen towards this rotation to the next hill. We have Pentagram waiting in that kitchen side, watching the flood come in. Fellow wins that gunfight. That's huge now for the system. As they work towards that back kitchen area, secure the spawns, and again, Built by Gamers fighting through the front. Put them in a very, very difficult position to deal with.
Solid push. Built by Gamers, though. Can't push through Fellow when he's shooting like this. Gonna come through. Oh, Zed, you gotta find that kill. Panda finds 2, and all of a sudden, Built by Gamers back in with this rotation. 34 seconds or so remaining at kitchen. And you can see the system already kind of chalking this one up. You gotta be careful of the streaks, though. Panda getting very, very close himself. On the 4 sprays, Zed, though. Important kills coming through. The system can set up. Really has been about these setups. We talk about it on Riot so much, but really has been quite simple in that respect of whoever has rotated early has picked up the majority of the time, which is kind of what should happen. Nobody really going away from the curve, though. We know how fast-paced it was in the previous 2 maps that we've seen. Desi still with that artillery as well. It's definitely going to help towards basketball, potentially. These streaks are probably coming to play very shortly. Tries to push from behind, though. Built by Gamers now making this push. 2 dead, 3 dead, and there we go. The break we haven't seen very often, but it comes through for Built by Gamers. They were the ones that really did need it. If they hold this, they'll take the lead.
Yep, last time around we saw the system in control of this, and it was Built by Gamers desperately fighting, and now it's the system. But huge kill from Zinx as he does take down Pander. Now Desi on the opposition side fighting off Pentagram, but ultimately, it's still Built by Gamers holding on for control over this point as there's 17 seconds remain. Huge gunfights come in, but the help of Kismet, Fellow gets taken out, and now Built by Gamers do secure that scrap time, but the huge gunfights are going to happen right now onto this rotation towards the pool hill. And now last time around, we did see Built by Gamers in control over this, but now it's the system that are going to be on control of this pool hill. So Built by Gamers are going to have to figure out a way to break this as it is very, very hard, as we seen last time around, to do so.
I don't know if Built by Gamers did get a hold of any streaks. As far as I'm aware, I didn't spot them myself, at least anyway.
I don't believe so.
They're still going to be there for... No, they wouldn't have because it was Panda, wasn't it?
Yep.
They would have come in real handy right now, but Panda finds the gunfight inside of Money. Now this is where you try to start making the push. Spots one towards the back for Desi. Lingering around the rocks, but the 3 kills come through. Built by Gamers have started being able to find those punch-throughs. Breaking these hills time and time again over the last couple of hills themselves. And all of a sudden, this is a very, very tight game. System have some sort of control of mid-map, though. If you can lock down every single angle, 4 different pushes that can come through, you're in a good spot. But once one domino falls, it's very easy for Built by Gamers to try and make this push through where the trade's going to come in. Those Zinx is going to find 2. All of a sudden, it's got our Rex left all alone, and there we go. Desi still with these streaks available as well. Would surprise me if this isn't going to get called in very, very shortly. Shot's going to come through, and that might lock this game in. Oh my goodness me. Decimate doesn't find the 3rd. Very well played by him, though, and this is maybe going to be done and dusted, and this is maybe going to go to a map number 5. It is.
Ooh.
The system close it out, 250 to 192. Go to an express.
Yep, I'm so sorry, Ton. I did not want to jinx it, but I mean, really just looking at this team on paper, Hardpoint, time and time again, they continue to dominate the system. You really do expect it from a team like this. You really do.
You do. Look, I mean, Built by Gamers were doing a good job, but I think they just found themselves too far behind. They kept finding those breaks, and it was working out well, but it was just the scrap time that we're picking up for the most part, apart from Garage towards the end, where they did make it a little bit more interesting. Look, it was close all the way through. The system just maybe had one cleaner hill, and that kind of what gets it going. Yeah. Streaks didn't really even come into play.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't even think Desi, did he even use the streaks there? But
I don't think.
Built by Gamers, the lead did get taken away from them in the beginning there, but they really had that full hill control, and I believe it was right here that we saw that they held the whole entire time, and that really did ultimately put them back into the lead. But just like you said, it kind of just got away from them. They had a hard time holding certain areas and got broken in others, but I just feel like between the two of these teams, I'm still, again, pretty shocked to see just such a close matchup, because again, the system has just been completely just starting off so hot into this stage. But I don't know what to expect now. I mean, just after watching all this, going through and watching all these maps, I don't know what to expect from both teams. It's just, I really think that it could just go either way, of course.
What I expect is fast pace once again, and Express is a good S&D map for that, isn't it? You know, we can find teams that are just going to meet each other in the middle and swing,
Zed. Essentially.
Yeah, and Zed on this map. We know how,
Zed.
You know, exactly. You get him in and around the trains. Let's see what he can do. We will be loading in very, very shortly, but what an interesting series it's been. It has kind of felt like, as mentioned, like a Money 8 to a certain degree. These guys just going at it time and time again. Built by Gamers take map number 1, and the system tying it up with a Search and Destroy on Raid. We then stay on Raid for 2 more maps where Built by Gamers will take a convincing control, but then a very similar scoreline in the hardpoint from map number 1 joins us in map number 4, and this time on Raid, and this time it goes to the system, which is what sets us up for an Express to close things out for everything here in this game. Built by Gamers arguably do need this game a lot more than the system do. The system, as mentioned, the only team remaining undefeated so far, 4-0, would look pretty sweet on the record heading into week number 2. Who do you think is coming out on top, Ellen? Come on, give it to me. What do you think?
Man, it's so hard to say, but looking at okay, so if I look at the matches that we watched, okay, we've seen the system play on Express, Search and Destroy, and I mean, I just know Zed, absolute monster. Some of the strategies that system has in play for their plants, their setups, we know that they know how to play this map. We know that. So going into this, I know it's tight. I think that the system's going to clutch up here and take it.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat now, which would be devastating for Built by Gamers. Considering where they're sitting, considering where they need to be, it could be bad potentially. But I can see the lobby is starting to populate. Hopefully we'll be jumping in just a second, because I'm excited to see what is going to happen in game number 5 between these two teams. It's going to be on Express, Search and Destroy. It's going to be fast. And we are very excited to see how it plays out, because I mean, I'm just excited to see if they can keep this pace up, because it has been relentless. Yeah,
I agree. It's just both teams just playing so fast, but Built by Gamers here on the attacking side already looking to answer that as GodRx takes down Fellow. Now I think we're going to start to see maybe a slow, fast rotation over to the A site.
What's a slow fast rotation?
It looked like a kind of a slow fast there, but the bomb is down because the slow fast Decimate already cutting down Kismet.
Is that just is a slow fast rotation?
All right.
Is it just a rotation, or is it canceling it out?
Oh gosh,
Yeah, we're in the season 4. I can start
now.
pulling you up now. Yeah, that's it.
It's okay. It's all right.
It's almost as good as Brycey snorkeling in the dust yesterday.
Snorkeling in the dust. Oh yeah, that was great. I think I snorkeled a little bit right there. Well, I mean, at first it looked like it was everything happened so fast. Okay, Ted, I'm in your boat now. I mean, I've been up since 6 a.m., but I don't talk about it, and sometimes your words just start to jumble.
Ellen, it's nearly 4 a.m. here.
Hey, but you had a few extra hours of sleep. All right.
Very true. Here we go, though. Into round number 2. Look at those shots from Panda. Oh. My goodness, and look at Built by Gamers. They've got super aggressive on the defensive side of things. If you're the system, you need to plant and you need to hold somewhere. Because right now, you have absolutely no room to breathe. Got a Rex over the top. Going to find one, expecting the push from Tickets as well. Fellow just playing with his life as best as he can. Desi surviving, finding a big kill on the Kismet as well. That's going to shut down one side. Fellow finds one. Got a Rex, trades that out. It's Desi in a 1 versus 2. At least he knows exactly where the players are here. Or at least has a good idea. He's going to spot a Rex who guns him out of the train door. My goodness, Built by Gamers 2-0.
I mean, that was just with lightning speed, too. Like, I don't know if you heard him. I had to call out, but wow. Opening pick there from Pander, too. Key. Built by Gamers is making a statement. Like I said, you can't count them out. I mean, I expected so much from this squad because they've been together for so long, and I do want to see them win the stage for once. I do. It'd be nice. So much hard work, but GodRx having a pretty good game. 5 streak for him. Well, they look to push. BBG look to push towards this A site, but getting tagged up there. GodRx gets tagged from Desi. But Kismet gets the trade. Now the push is going to slowly start to come through, but they have Zed to worry about in this train, and we already know he's very good at holding down these corners with the AK-74U. But now Pander on the flank. Yeah. Huge.
Yep. Makes things very difficult for the system. They get pinched from 2 different angles. GodRx working on those streaks. Fellow now just trying to survive as best as he can. If he could find a kill on the GodRx, that would be fantastic. Gets onto the Panda on the GodRx. Oh, I got spicy for a second, but Built by Gamers 3-0 up now. Oh, he played this so well. There's the one. Dips inside, expects the push, and GodRx gets deleted. But still, it was not enough. 3-0 now.
I'm just... wow. Well, how is the system going to answer back on this one?
Yeah.
I mean, essentially all members of BBG were at that B site, but you're going to see this fast rotation start to come over at A's. They recognize that system isn't there. Trophies come in, the push comes through. Trades do come in now, evening up to a 3v3, but GodRx on top of that train does take down Fellow. Now he has mid Zinx to worry about. Now Pander trying to pick up the trade, but Zinx manages to get out with his life, and now Kismet onto that bomb site. Does go for the sneaky defuse, but Zinx on top of that trade picks him off, but Pander able to get the trade now. I mean, realistically, that was just a fast round yet again, but the trade's coming in for Built by Gamers, and now leading a 4-0 advantage. This is very much so the system having their backs against the wall. This is just super scary for them.
Oh yeah, we are absolutely flying through these rounds, and that's thanks to the pace that's being set by both teams. My goodness me. Just non-stop, relentless pushing. The side of the system in this scenario, you need to change the pace. Just try not to match it, because Built by Gamers are just winning these all-out brawls. And I don't know if that's a big reason as to why we're finding ourselves in the map number 5. The system, maybe. I've just got sort of sucked into it a little bit. Here we go once again. These initials. Which way they're going to go? That grenade's going to hurt. As do those bullets. Answering back though, a little bit of information. Would have heard the 2 ticks there with the damage, but B is as wide open as it possibly could be. That's bad timing for Panda. The push from Zinx. It's just challenge after challenge. There's no respect for any level of cover or anything. It's just like, well, he's there. He's got me preempt, Chal.
Yeah.
Which I respect. And look, even Destiny trying to turn around to find those shots there. Zinx now in a 1 versus 2. This has been a clinic so far for Built By Gamers. That's such a difficult spot to push from as well. You can deal with Kismet, and then maybe something could be on the cards. Expecting the second push from Tick. It's not going to happen. 5-0. Built By Gamers making light work of the system here on map number 5.
Yeah, and I mean, you really just said it well there. They need to change the pace because constantly they are getting punished by Built By Gamers. I mean, this is a team that has been together for quite some time. They have their chemistry down. System, not so much. They're just newly formed. So they're really going to have to turn it around and change the pace here and figure out a way to just take it round by round and claw the way back in. But let's see if they can do just that as the opening pick in for Zinx. Now push towards that B site comes in as Destiny gets the kill onto Kismet, but he gets traded out by Pentagram. And now, just like that, you have GodRx in a 1 versus 2.
It's doable. Absolutely doable here. The GodRx at 9-3. Zinx has got the bomb. He just needs to stay alive, but oh, he's picking up a nice spot here. We've seen it before. He's going to be able to find the pick off the bomb as he gets away. Not quite. But the information's there. He didn't see anybody, so you can only presume they have moved back. 1v2 for GodRx here.
Yep, and the wraparound is going to come in through, but Zinx already being able to read him spots it. So now the impossible head glitch, if you will, Zinx is going to be set up there, and he has Fellow there to trade. GodRx, 80 health, 30 health now. This is going to be really hard as the wallbang comes in, and now the system finally getting around on the board, looking to bring it back here. Still very, very much so doable, but they still have a long road ahead of them.
A very long road. Built By Gamers, though, we'll want to close this one out as soon as possible. Grenade goes through. Just trying to get control up top. And oh my goodness me, nobody's died within the first 20 seconds.
I was going to point that out. It looks like we have a slower round here.
Everyone taking the time a little bit now. Nobody wanting to make the move just yet. It's about trying to find a pick, and then I'm sure it'll spring into life.
Yeah, both Kismet and Zed. Possibly first engagement that might happen here, but Pentagram there gets the trade. And now Zinx fighting to get the 2, but GodRx accidental
2v2.
team kill. Now leaving it at 2v2, but now a 1v2. Fellow. Great shots on him, but they know exactly where he is now. The system. This is just crazy. This is crazy. The system's finally coming alive here, but if they actually manage to claw their way back into this, wow. What do you do? What do you do to secure the win here? And Zed, I'm surprised to see. Last time around on this map, we saw double-digit kills from him. So, gonna see what he can do to bring it back. Fellow, though.
Fellow. Oh, I mean, this is the system. This is their round.
Yeah.
Well, here we go. 5-3. It was 5-0.
Huge 2-piece.
Yeah,
Thanks.
Full Sail to close out the stream, anyone?
Yeah, I mean, this was definitely a good game to do it. Well, now Built by Gamers on the attacking side. This is huge. They need to win this because if we don't want that momentum to swing in the favor for the system, and stun checks already come in, system kind of just spread out on the map. But just like you said, we're not going to see the teams just flying right in. It's just going to be the test of patience. Minute left on the clock here. No one really close to an engagement just yet, but what exactly are Built by Gamers going to do here? Because they still have to worry about Desi and Zinx in these Goddard positions.
Oh, Kismet's gonna fall. It's getting nervy for Built by Gamers. Oh my word. That's another round going over to them. 5-4. Oh, Ellen.
You said they needed to change their pace. I think they heard you, Ton. Because that's exactly what happened. The game's pace has just completely changed. And now instead of seeing those fast-paced engagements, we're seeing more of slow engagements. And it's working out for the system quite well.
This would sum up Built by Gamers. If the Full Sail happens on a map number 5 against the team that is currently 3-0 and undefeated in Elite Challenges, that would just sum up this Built by Gamers roster. Inconsistencies. When they look good, they're fantastic. And then suddenly things can just fall apart. Kismet finds one though. That's on the Z. That's a good start to the first blood we've seen in a while for Built by Gamers. Looks like Desi's on the chase as well. He's going to fall, and this might be it now.
That might be it.
2v4 for Fellow and Zinx. They need to get the bomb. They need to get it down. Kismet is going to fall, though. Catches him off guard. 2v3.
Now that bomb is going to work towards that B site. So now Fellow,
It's doable.
be able to get this plant down. It's still doable, just like you said.
Check number 7. Zinx is going to see 2 in just a second. Look who somebody slipped the net over towards Tickets as well. That's a 1v3 now. That has to come through for Pentagram. Or for Fellow, I should say. The shots came through as well. He couldn't find them. Now Fellow, he's a good player, but not good enough to do that. Built by Gamers will get rid of the system's perfect record with a 3-2 win. What a game of search that was. 6-4 in the end. And eventually the pace was enough. It just about was enough, Ellen.
Almost. And honestly, we saw Zed play that map yesterday. He didn't seem like he had just the best performance today on that one. So I'm kind of surprised to see that one. What do you think, Bryce? Hi.
Well, for a game we weren't going to see, it was certainly incredibly entertaining. I had no idea what was going for the majority of it. The pace they were setting was certainly something else. You'd also they had a vendetta against each other. It was so vicious through most of those maps. But in the end, Built by Gamers walk away with the win. But yeah, so back and forth between the two teams. I genuinely don't know how to sum it up. I thought that S&D was going to all the way to around 11 just to top it off, but not quite getting there in the end, of course. But I don't know what this means. I was trying to figure it out. Obviously, system doing very, very well. Built by Gamers. You know, we saw them lose earlier on, but they come back and beat a team like the system. Benchmarking them in this case seems almost impossible, Tom.
It's really, really difficult to kind of gauge where they're at. Again, I always say it, they just need to get top 6, but at the same time, I just don't understand how they can produce that kind of performance against some teams and then others. Maybe it is a pacing issue. Maybe it's just who they go up against and how they play. Maybe it counters perfectly how they do play. But on paper, this roster should be within the top 3 teams every single time. They should be winning Elite Challenges, or at least competing to do so. When they play like that up against a team like the system who will be up there near the top, that's fantastic. Yes, that's great. But in the other games you're expected to win. That's when things aren't going the right way for BBG, and they need to figure out why. It's been consistently like this. They've been consistently inconsistent, Brycey, and I can't understand it.
Well, I'm sure we'll find out what happens by the end of the season. But before we look forward to see exactly how teams like BBG will get on, let's take a walk back and remind you of everything we have seen from today's results. So we started off with Team War defeating Hot Tub Meta 3-0. August took down Los Pepes 3-2. We came over to North America and basically repeated the pattern. Trash Bros taking down Built by Gamers 3-0, but they didn't end it there. Built by Gamers go all the way to a map 5 to take down the system. Of course, there were many other games going on and we caught the tail end of them, and you can take a look at the website for every result on every team, as well as their rosters and everything else with it. But it certainly has been a crazy couple of days in this one. Ellen, what are your final thoughts for week 1 of stage 4 of Challengers Elite?
Well, my final thoughts, pretty crazy week. I mean, in terms of EU side, Elevate, I kind of expected to see them come out strong. So no surprises there, but, overall, and this NA side, just the competition has just been so crazy. Just new teams coming in, Trash Bros. They really surprised me with their performance, just starting off 0-2 today, and then sweeping BBG to 3-0 fashion, who just beat the undefeated team. It's just crazy. I don't know what to expect for week 2 because it could be a completely different flop from this week. But ultimately, I'm really impressed with some of these new teams just starting up and to their first time into the elites.
All right, well, that sums up an awful lot of it, actually. There's been so much going on as well. Tan, how about you?
Yeah, it's been crazy across the board. And even though we talk about Elevate being top of the pile, they just lost to Team War, who went 2-0 today after going 0-2 yesterday.
Forgot about that one.
I mean, but still, I mean, that's it. It's just been that crazy, hasn't it? It's been hard to keep up with what's been going on. At this point, week 2, we'll have a good idea of how things are going to play out, and we will have our final standings, of course. But it's honestly could go in so many different directions, Brycey, and I don't know, man. COD Challengers has been wild so far this year. We haven't got much more to go, but I mean, it's going to crescendo in absolute madness. I have no doubt.
Oh, I have no doubt of that either. And while the journey has been awesome, we are finally at our destination, at least for week 1. The broadcast is, of course, going to be coming to a close, but we have enjoyed 2 wonderful days of Call of Duty. And ever so fortunately, there are many more to come. Big stories in this one. Winners of Stage 3 doing badly in Stage 4. Amelia Strays and Easter have not had the best of starts. But fortunately, next week may be a reversal of fortune. Of course it is. Thank you from me and the rest of our staff. We will see you next week.